What's up, everybody? Adrian here. Welcome back to the Twitch channel. Welcome to another Friday night stream back in Lord of the Rings Online for their new update, Update 23, Where Dragons Dwell. Just give me a second here. I'm just doing some social media admin stuff. You gotta post whenever you go live. I haven't set up any like auto stuff. But yeah, good to be back. Lord of the Rings. It's been a while. I think my last time in here was for finishing up the Mordor expansion with a good friend Wigga. So what's happening with LOTRO? Update 23 is our latest update. It is not an expansion, it is a big quest pack. For those of you that play LOTRO, you already know there's two brand new zones. Eastward, we're heading to the Iron Hills, and a northern part of that as well. The main story continues, and this is the Black Book of Mordor, and I am up to date. Even though you don't believe me, I have found a time to finish up some of my LOTRO stuff, so yes, I am up to date. Is this the next review? This update is going to be reviewed, yes, that's why I'm kind of streaming it, and that's why I'm doing it as well. And I've already planned out the next two reviews, so we'll talk about that the more we get into the stream. First of all, hello to everybody, those that are watching. Ooh, over on YouTube, we got Rochelle just subscribing to the channel. Thank you, Rochelle. I will be importing this over to YouTube, so whenever you see this, thank you very much. Appreciate the support. As a very quick TLDR, for those that do not play Lord of the Rings Online, what is this? This is an MMORPG in Middle-earth, of course, free to play. The new update has increased our level cap from 115 to 120, so that's 5 new levels. And anybody that played through Mordor will kind of realize how much work goes into leveling, and another 5 levels here may seem like a lot of work. So I'm going to be playing as much as I can tonight. Let's see if I can complete as much as I can, trying to get to 120, the new level cap in LOTRO. Real quick, we got Derps in chat. Hello Derps, how you doing, man? Long time no see. He says, I am so deep in Maple Story 2 right now, not yet 50, but the fishing grind is real. Oh, you got hooked into Maple too, huh? Yeah, I got so hooked on Maple because of my review, and I actually leveled a second character. I started leveling a priest, and then I realized I have to move on. I have to get to the next game and the next game, or else the channel, my entire channel is built on the premise that I would keep moving on to the next game for review, so it almost feels like an adventure. And the moment I stop doing that, the moment I stick to one game, the channel is just gonna die, so yeah. But Maple was such a cool experience. I had fun in Maple. Which is pretty interesting. I have not done the fishing grind yet. I refuse to jump into fishing yet because there's no tangible rewards from fishing except some trophies and stuff. Alright, anyway, for you LOTRO folks, a very quick TLDR. What is happening here? Can you guess where I am? We are in Erebor, baby, and that's King Thorin III, or Thorin III. And the entire story so far, I have done probably the first half of the update, and I already have maybe some first impressions about what's this update all about. Is it fun so far? And I'm now heading on to the second part of the update, which is going on to the new map. So I put in accumulatively about 6 or 7 hours into the new update already. So I've already started, as you can see. And so far, so good. I'd say it's 50-50 right now in terms of the fun factor. Some of the quests that LOTRO have put out for this new update is really, predictable, very old school, old fashioned, a bunch of fetching, a bunch of killing, a bunch of clicky, and it's all over the place. But the story so far has been great because we now get to see people like Durin, Thorin III's son, and we've also gone ahead and seen 9 over there in the Iron Hills. So, oh man, that's some great stuff. So, what have I been doing? Let me just show you guys the map real quick of where I've just come from in terms of the Iron Hills. Let's go to Baradhor. This is the old map, by the way, and it's showing me the old map because I'm using an add-on or a plugin skin, so it does use the old assets. But LOTRO did get a map revamp, and this is what it looks like. This is absolutely beautiful. I like this. It's more sleek, it's modern, and it still has, you hover over an area, you click on that, and then it goes back into the old map. So where are we? Let me just go there real quick. So I'm currently up here back in Erebor, the Lonely Mountain. Dale's down there. This is the old zone. This was the old quest spec, or the quest spec before Update 23. And Update 23 has added the Iron Hill. So this is where I was questing in the past 6 or 7 hours. There's about 120 new quests and deeds, and what's not in right now, I think, or what's already in. There's new instances as well. I think there's 2 3-mans and 1 6-man with a raid coming out soon. So pretty interesting so far from this zone that I've just completed. And while you won't see it on stream, I don't think I'm going back there because I've completed all the quests here so far. You will see it in my final review for update 23. A lot of the quests here from a story perspective are pretty fantastic, and it's predictable in a way that I knew LOTRO was going to go down this road. Because what happened while we were taking down Mordor was towards the east, you know, we are kind of catching up with where everybody's at. The Easterlings, something's happening over in Rune that we don't know about, but something terrible is happening in Rune. And now that Sauron's gone, you know, these Easterlings, this Jandavars, they don't serve him anymore, so they're kind of free reign. So they're pushing westward, and they've come into the dwarven territories looking for a new home, looking to pillage, looking to, you know, gather resources. So it's kind of split into two. You've got Jangovar, who are very military, you know, people, they're barbaric and whatever, and then you've got the Easterling refugees who don't want anything to do with that war. It's done, it's over, Sauron's dead, let's move on. So that storyline has been taking place in this zone, which I've already completed, and I can say right now it's one of my favorites because it humanizes the Easterlings in a way that if LOTRO didn't do this, then I suppose my feelings toward the Easterlings wouldn't change. They'd still be considered the bad guys, very black and white. Whereas the quests in the zone so far has shown me that human side of them, you know, they are people too, and, you know, the decision of their leadership in times of war doesn't reflect on the overall, you know, feelings of the people, so to say. So in that regard, I'm kind of happy with the Iron Hills questing so far. It's just the quest designs that I'm a little disappointed by, because not much has changed in that regard. So I've done this area. I'm now back in Erebor to talk to the king, and he's going to send me to the next zone. So before I move on, I'm just going to check in chat real quick. Derp says some trophies. He says there's got more trophies than players in that game. Tell me about it, man. I don't think I'm 10% into trophies yet. I think I've only got like 5% of trophies in the overall trophies in Maple Story 2. So what class did you end up picking for Maple, Derps? And are you having fun with it? We also got Boopy in chat. Hello, Boopy. He says, yay, LOTRO content. Yay, indeed. Good to be back. Let's go ahead and talk to King Thorin 3. If you're wondering where Durin is, I left Durin at the front gates, actually outside in Dale, simply because, remember, I talked about there's Easterlings here that are coming into the Iron Hills. Well, there's a new clan of dwarves too, and I can't get their name right. It starts with a... oh, hell. Yeah, I can't remember the name of those dwarves, but there's a new clan of dwarves, and they want to get their rightful home in the northern part of the Misty Mountains. And they want to get there, but they have to go through Dale, and they have to go through Erebor. So there's a territorial struggle going on, and Durin is kind of playing emissary at the gates right now, so I'm here back with Thorin, trying to sort this out. So let's go ahead and start questing, baby. Disquiet in the halls, and this quest line simply is that Nori, and I'm sure those of you that know your Lord of the Rings, know your Tolkien, you know who Nori is. He kind of snuck off to do his own expedition, and he went up to this old dwarven kingdom, which a dragon, I forgot the name of the dragon already, but it's a Cold Drake summoned by that Smarty Pants wizard, and this was all happening in the previous quest pack, which I wasn't playing. I haven't finished the previous quest pack, but yeah, Nori's taken an expedition team, and he's gone to the new map, and that's where we as players are going next. And because it's not voice acted, I guess I'll just read it out real quickly. It is as I expected, but not as good as I hoped. My edict was not firm enough to withstand the passage of the Zhil Ruka, and that's the name of the new clan of Eastern Dwarves that we're now dealing with. They're more... oh, what's the term I'm looking for here? Fishy, because apparently they steal, apparently they give you, you know, very nasty glances. They're very jealous of the Longbeard Dwarves because of their superiority in terms of architecture and weapons and stuff like that, so... But I've already befriended a Zhil Ruka, and that's one of the chapters in the Black Book so far, where you have to, you know, get acquainted to him, because one of these Zhil Ruka, his father, spoiler alert, no, his great-grandfather, no, his great-great-great-grandfather had the Black Book of Mordor. So that's where that tie-in sequence is happening. So if you want to know that story, you got to play the latest update. Those of you that own the Mordor expansion will get the Black Books for free, so you don't have to buy anything, just play through the new zone. So King Thorin produces a small missive and glares at it. Nori left a missive behind when he made for Thikil-gundu, that's the kingdom that we're going to next, with his expedition. I would ask you that you deliver it to Dori. I think now's the time that he learns what his brother has done. So we're gonna go to Dori now. And I have to go talk to Gandalf too, and tell him about the whole Black Book of Mordor. Like I said, I rendezvoused with one of those Eastern dwarves, and we found the Black Book of Mordor. So let's go give this to Gandalf and see what he has to say about this. But yeah, over the past 3 days since the update hit, you know, because I'm playing catch up, so I had to finish my Black Book of Mordor to get to this point. That means I had to come into Erebor for the first time. I saw Dale for the first time. I saw Lake Town for the first time. Look, I'll say this about LOTRO. In terms of environmental designs, I love it. It's splendid. I mean, when I stream, I can't play on ultra settings because it just hogs the whole stream down, and I often crash because that is one of LOTRO's biggest weakness, optimization. Oh, this guy's running funny. That's because he's carrying something. But in terms of zone design, environments, love it. Absolutely brilliant. So let's hope... The Iron Hills, though, I mean, what do you expect? It's just a barren wasteland full of red rock. The one cool thing is there's like a giant dwarven statue in the middle of the map, which was really awesome. So yeah. Well, if you couldn't already tell, those of you that are new to this Twitch channel, I'm going to be nerding out about Tolkien a lot. For those that don't know, Lord of the Rings Online is my first MMO, so you may have seen me review a bunch of MMOs where I jump in for the first time and everything. But I started in LOTRO, and I have about 8 years now in this game, so I try and come back as often as I can, and this is one of those instances, so if I start sounding like I'm geeking out, you will have to forgive me. This is an expanded part of the Lonely Mountain, and I mean, it's decent. It's kind of decent for me, and somebody actually told me this, that they reused a lot of assets from the Mines of Moria expansion, released in 2008. Moria, anybody that played through Moria, you could probably recognize a lot of these background architecture, very dwarvish, you know, you see all the motifs and the symbols and everything. Moria had the almost identical doorways, pathways, bridges. So some people will argue that, hey, you know what? For some of these new dwarven architecture, Standing Stone Games didn't do a whole lot. They just copy and paste it, you know? I'm not going to argue with that. I do see that. Oh, am I lost already? I mean, I see the ring on my minimap. Gandalf's down there. I'm heading to Gandalf's room. They gave him a room. It's got to be this one, right? No? Okay, I got to go down some more. I messed up. This place is pretty big. Unless I got to go to the other side. Let's go to the other side. Let's check in chat right now. Derp says, first I went with the heavy gunner, but right now I'm stuck on my Berserker, and we're talking about MapleStory 2, guys. I've recently put out my MapleStory 2 10 Reasons review, which is sizzling. It's sizzling right now. Lots of people are viewing that, which kind of justifies my decision to jump into the Head Start and make a review, because, hey, it just launched recently on the 10th, so people are jumping for the first time, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with my review, I think. I mean, I said all I need to say, so yeah, we're talking about that right now. And Berserker, I like Berserker. It almost plays, well, I should say my Knight class almost plays like the Berserker because I have a lot of AoE, but the Berserker just kills stuff so fast, it's not even funny, and they do have a lot of survivability, so good choice there. Derp says, did you ever play Warhammer Online Age of Reckoning? No, unfortunately, I did not play Warhammer Online, although, you may have heard of Tom 3 Kings. He's been on my channel a lot. He did suggest playing on a private server, you know, one of those emulated servers where, because for those that don't know, Warhammer Online got shut down, so the only way it's alive right now is because of private servers. So no, I have not checked it out, but it's definitely on my list of things to do whenever I get the time. All right, Gandalf, here we are. Okay, Gandalf takes the Black Book. Warily eyeing the sigil on the cover, you describe the hidden chamber in which the book was found, and the wizard strokes spirit thoughtfully. Carefully opens the book and turns several of its leaves. Some of the pages contain words written in the Black Speech, which I love hearing the Black Speech in film and stuff like that, but I haven't heard it too much in game. I think there's a couple of instances where the Black Speech was used in game, but I can't remember. But there are also dwarf runes of several varieties and many blank pages. I suspect these gaps are not truly empty because hidden dwarven runes, that's a secret trick, or moon runes. If you watched The Hobbit, you remember moon runes, right? Most interesting, this book clearly has its origin in Mordor, but the Mordor of 1,000 years ago. It's not the same as today. Truly, even in a month's time, Mordor has greatly changed. So he will study the book, and he'll call for me later on.
The relationship of the Zhil Ruka and the Longbeards has long been tumultuous.
Well, that didn't take long at all. Okay, so let's see what he has to say about the book here. I'm just going to skim through. The relationship of the Zhil Ruka, which is those eastern dwarves I talked about, and the Longbeards have been tumultuous, so naughty neighbors, I suppose. They haven't been on, well on terms, like I said. They're kind of envious of each other, or one over the other. So let's see here. With the devastation that heralded the end of the First Age, much of Middle-earth was shaken and sundered. In their land far to the east, the stronghold of the Zhil Ruka was destroyed, so they don't have a home. They became a wandering people. Sounds familiar. Their neighbors turned them aside and wished them ill. But King Durin II of Khazad-dûm, Moria at the time, took pity upon them and bade his folk make a home for the displaced people at Mount Gundabad. Great lore, I like this. This is good. They disappeared in the mountains and never arrived, but a single survivor emerged centuries later. He spoke of the vanished Zhil Ruka and Thar-Gathol, a citadel he claimed they delved in the mountains. So, all these places, I cannot wait to go and see, because the joy of LOTRO right now, after the One Ring is destroyed, is seeing what Standing Stone Games can put out in terms of new places that are untapped, untouched in the movies and in other forms of mediums and media, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, so dwarves from Khazad-dûm did uncover the remains of an ancient delving in the Grey Mountains. Please, let's go there next. And although they found a great deal of iron ore, they found no mithril, which means it's pretty useless to dwarves. This could not be Thar-Gathol. They called it thikil-gundu, the Steel Keep, and that's the name of the instance, I think. Thikil-gundu. And soon their iron production threatened to rival that of the Iron Hills. Nice. Alright, so let's go down some more. Let's wrap this up. I will not involve myself in this matter. Return to King Thorin and warn him not to trifle with the Zhil Ruka, because they do have a claim. As it says here, ever since the Zhil Ruka have jealously guarded their claim to holdings in the Grey Mountains, and that resentment has colored their dealings with all other people. So we've got two options here. Either the Longbeards are going to turn away the Zhil Ruka, and now we're going to fight them. But from some of the beta preview videos I've seen, the true people or the true enemy that you'll be fighting in that new zone, or in some of these mountains, I saw lots of Gundabad orcs. So I think Gundabad orcs are coming back. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, check it in chat real quick. Derp says, there is a rather big one, Return of Reckoning, currently in alpha. I've been playing a bit. Ooh, nice. Return of Reckoning. So, brand new private server. Is it any different from the ones out there? Like, what's the special feature? Did they add anything new, or is it just like a more updated version with better systems and mechanics, or are the graphics updated? The Derps also say, the lore is past the destruction of the One Ring. Yes, we are way beyond that now. The Mordor expansion last year took care of the destruction of the One Ring. And it took care of it fairly early, actually, even before the entire expansion started. Or maybe the first, 6 hours or so, and then after that, the entire expansion was kind of exploring the aftermath of the One Ring. What happened to the people? What's the consequences of Sauron's demise? Are the people of Middle-earth, especially those remnants, those wild men, and some of the orcs themselves without leadership, the infighting, and the lieutenants now stepping up to try and either fill in Sauron's void or Cosmo Chaos. That was sort of the Mordor expansion central theme that, to a certain extent, I think Standing Stone Games managed to capture nicely, because it's fresh storytelling that is just beyond things that we already know, like the One Ring story. We know how it ends. We know how it started, we know what happens in the middle, and we know how it ends. With Mordor, at least for me, the way I felt, it's kind of unpredictable in some instances, especially when it has to do with the story, so yeah. Okay, checking down some more. We got B Batuhan 1905. What up? He says, is this a quest pack or expansion? This is a quest pack, and it's a rather large one. Introduces 2 new zones, the Iron Hill, and I can't get the name right, but we're heading to one of these Eastern Dwarven kingdoms up in the north, where Nori is gone to. So let me just show you that real quick. I showed you one. So this is the Iron Hills. This is a new zone. It's decently sized, but there's not a whole lot to do in it. It serves as an introduction quest for a bunch of stuff. You have a couple of chapters in here. You also get to meet Durin, Thorin III's son, and bring him back and all that good stuff. Where we're heading to next in the second part is up here. This is the second zone. Ered Mithrin. There we go. That's the name I'm looking for. And this one has a bunch of interesting stuff that I've not seen before. I like the colors here. And this is where the instances and the new endgame content is going to take place, apparently. So I'm currently on the second part of that questing, so I'm heading there soon. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. As for cost, VIP players, you guys get this for free. Lifetimers, you guys get this for free. Premium players like myself, this costs 1195 LOTRO points. It's pretty pricey. It's one of the priciest quest packs so far. I mean, like I said, I haven't been around for the last one. Quest packs usually come out like 795. I mean, at least that was the old Turbine era days. This one's at 1195, so that's pretty pricey. But you do get the instance cluster with it, bundled in, so if you care about that kind of stuff. Ooh, thank you, B. Batuhan. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So the plan for tonight, those of you that are just joining me, I'm going to be playing through this as much as I can, making my way to the new level cap. Level cap's gone up from 115 to 120. I'm actually 117 right now, which... Oh, hang on. Authi Gemcutter stands before the king. What is he doing here? Authi Gemcutter is one of these people that goes on you with the adventure to the Iron Hills at the very beginning of this quest back, because he goes to settle some family issues because one of these eastern dwarves, you know, wanted to go back, or he got kicked out by the king over there, so he kind of followed us over, and now he's back. So what is going on here? Let's go ahead and talk to King Thorin 3.
Authi Gemcutter has come from the edge of the Dale lands with urgent news.
Uh-oh. Okay, so Durin. I left Durin with Authi at, you know, the entrance, so let's see what it says. He says that Botus Frostblood, who's the leader of these Zhil Ruka dwarves out there and his band of Zhil Ruka, forced their way into Dale lands against my wishes and have marched for the Grey Mountains. At first my son Durin barred the way, but he refused to spill dwarf blood, noble, and allowed them to pass. It seems he followed them, intending to watch them and prevent the Zhil Ruka from doing any harm to the people of Dale or the lands around the Lonely Mountain. He sent Authi back to bring me word of your movements. This is an outrage. These Zhil Ruka have proven themselves to be impolite and no friend to me or my people. I am insulted and demand satisfaction. Demand satisfaction. I should start using that more in my daily speech. Hey, I demand satisfaction. I do not say my son should have stood alone against dozens of these traitors, but I wish the Zhil Ruka have been made to pay for this sight in some fashion. Right, get to the point, man. He says, go to the Grey Mountains. Okay, here we go. We're going. And tell my son to return. The Zhil Ruka will pay for this outrage, but it will not be for Durin to accept the price. He belongs here with me, and will learn the responsibilities of kingship at my feet. That's another great story thread that's currently going on. There's a couple of story threads in this new quest pack. One of them is, of course, understanding the plight of those Easterling refugees coming out of Rune. What's happening there? Why are they suffering? Why do they need a new home? And why they're not kind of in line with the Jandavar, you know, or Jungalar. Shit, did I say Jandavar? Jungalar. Easterlings. The second narrative thread here is about Durin, King Thorin 3's son, because he was sent away into the Iron Hills to get out of the battle in Dale and Lake Town. But now that the battle's over, you know, when I went to get Durin, he was in a tavern getting drunk, and he was lamenting the fact that his father didn't trust him in battle, and he felt like, you know, he's so useless. And as you can imagine, when you name your son Durin, there's this prophecy going on, or this, you know, long-standing lore of Durin the Deathless. You know, this great king reborn again for the umpteenth time to come back and save the Dwarven Kingdom and bring them to peace and prosperity and all that stuff. That's Durin the Deathless, or, you know, since the days of Durin the First, and that's come down, and everybody has named their son Durin, trying to bring back the Dwarven Kingdom to that sort of era. So this Durin, unfortunately, is not feeling that. He's feeling the pressure of that. So that's one of those narrative threads. Some of the quests, we actually do bring him around, and, you know, he kind of shows us his prowess in terms of war, tactical strategy, and all that stuff. What was that? Pow Tato is just subscribed on the YouTube channel. Thank you, Pow Tato. I'm on Twitch right now, so he's not seeing this, but when this gets imported over, thank you, Pow Tato. Welcome to the channel. Alright, now before I make my way to the Grey Mountains, I'm gonna go and deliver Nori's missive real quick. And where do I find Nori? Now, I've been getting lost a lot ever since I came back. Because a lot of these areas are new to me, and I've been playing catch up. He is in the hall under the mountain, which is where I'm at. Oh, damn it, I missed him. Oh, bugger. Hall under the mountain. Completely missed him. All the old gang is kind of back. I saw Bomber, I saw Dwalin, and at the very start of the quest back, I think there was a nice throwback to, you know, Dwalin talking about Ballin. We also got to see Thorin's sister. Not this Thorin, the Thorin that died. We got to see sister, still alive, of course, and get her blessing to wrap up the last quest back. Because the last quest back story was about the dwarves here in Erebor feel like their craftsmanship was kind of deteriorating, and they're wondering if it's a curse or is it something, you know, some hooboo, some bad juju. And what it really was, they thought that somebody had stole the Arkenstone from Thorin's tomb. So we had to go talk to Thorin's sister and get her blessing to open Thorin's tomb and see if the Arkenstone was really there or not. And thankfully it was there, so... Still, I kind of felt dirty, you know, opening Thorin's tomb just to check if the Arkenstone was there. That's a crazy storyline on Standing Stone Games' part. Pretty funny, though. Okay, check it in chat real quick. Derp says, not brand new. I just saw this one featured in a gaming website in Germany. Nice. You know, someday, when I get the time, I'll definitely check it out. So here's Dory, and we're going to tell him that his brother has left a missive for him. What is this? Dory begins to read the missive, and his face sinks. This is some trick. It must be. Nori would not have done this, but Nori's the sneaky bugger, right? So, hey. Okay, what do we got? Marks of a conspiracy, and the reason I'm kind of doing the epic book alongside the story so that I can move both of the questing to the same zone, because the one thing that I want to avoid with LOTRO is doing a ton of back and forth, and I know LOTRO as a studio, their questing design team is just pretty damn poor with making decisions about that, so there's definitely going to be a lot of back and forth, so you want to keep all your questing together as much as possible. So I do not understand what has compelled my brother to act so foolishly. He has lived a life of wealth in Erebor. He's the keeper of the coffers, or he was. Bah, I should have confronted him. I saw a dwarf speaking with him in hushed tones, but I thought nothing of it. Nori is a dwarf of some repute, after all. If only I knew the names of those dwarves. But wait, I do recall one of them. This dwarf seemed to be of a line descended from both the Longbeards and the Zhil Ruka of the East. He was thin in beard, but any dwarf would be proud to have such a mustache. He's a miner. Search for him in the new loads of Nathrak. Alright, that's all I need to know. So, I guess what he's trying to say is that one of these eastern dwarves has kind of influenced Nori to go on this expedition. Now, it's either because I'm talking too damn much, or I'm taking my sweet time kind of reading text, but you can already see that if you really kind of enjoy the story, and you take it at your own pace, leveling is going to be absolutely painfully slow. And so far, my experiences in leveling, if I just concentrate on chugging out quests, I don't know. I mean, like, if you look at my bar down there, you can see that, right? I've used all, I've saved a bunch of XP tomes from my 8 years in playing, and once I hit Mordor, I didn't think I'd use them again, but here we are, a year later after Mordor, with 5 new levels. So I've kind of used a bunch of these tomes that I had. That kind of works like rested XP. It just gives you like a chunk of rested XP. But other stuff like in my bags, and my bags are a mess. I am well aware of that. I have stuff like this. 13 tomes of extraordinary experience. I initially had like 26, but I used a bunch during Mordor, and I used about 4 so far. I'm saving this for, you know, when I'm not streaming, when I can just focus on grinding on a quest, then I'll, you know, use a bunch of these, and I got a bunch of these too. Tomes of exceptional experience. That's 200% bonus, so I'm gonna hold on to that for as long as I can, in case I run out of quests on my way to 120. Then yeah, I'll definitely use that. Okay, so I guess this is the guy that I'm looking for. He does not have a full beard, but he does have those epic mustache. So let's go and talk to Dabel. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and I will do that often.
Hear my words.
I do appreciate your gaze. What business do you have in the new loads? You explained to the dwarf that he matched the description. Very well, I'm Dabel. I'm not so deeply involved as you might believe.
Alright, so I can't give you much information, but I can offer it for for some work. If you were to clear out some... Ah, bastard. See, this is one of the things... I have done like maybe 4 quests like these. If you want info, go kill some shit. Alright, let's do this real quick. As for my gear, I'm playing a captain. Captain's my main, has been for a very long time now. So every time when I, take long breaks from LOTRO and I come back, I'm very familiar with my captain's AoE and, just my skill rotations. It doesn't really take long for me or for my muscle memory to get back. When you end up playing more than God knows how many MMOs in a month, your muscle memory kind of gets screwed up. Gear-wise, though, I'm pretty surprised because once I finished the Mordor expansion, I did not do any form of Mordor endgame grinds. So I don't have, the best gear or anything. Does this count? Nathrok Burrower, defeat Deep Claws, and then this is a Deep Claw, right? Let's go ahead and kill one, see if that counts. So yeah, I basically tried to say that I'm under-geared. No, that didn't count. God damn it. Alright. Well, let's explore some more, I suppose. Look for one of those things. Yeah, there we go. Exposed burrow. That's what we want. So I came in here with really pathetic gear. And maybe the first, 10 quests or so, just killing stuff, I kind of struggled a little bit. And as a captain, ever since Helm's Deep, obviously with the trait trees, what you generally want to do is run in red line. Red line is the DPS line for cappies and, for some other classes as well. Or, yeah. And blue's your heal, and yellow's kind of your tanky. Just like Mordor, though, the first hour or so, I was running around in yellow. I was running around my tank mode because my gear just couldn't keep up. I don't have essences. I don't have anything good, really. And the only thing that I can keep up when a new content launches is really my legendary items, which I've managed to max out. Because of my days grinding, I have so many, what do you call those? Scrolls of blah, blah, blah. That increases your, legacy rank or whatever you call it. And I have a bunch of XP runes for your allies that I've just hogged in my bank. So whenever new content comes out, just head to the bank, get the allies done first, worry about it some other time. Gear drops so far, and a lot of the gear that I have, these are all questing drops from the Iron Hills that I've been doing last 6-7 hours. And these are definite upgrades, way better than whatever Mordor stuff I had on. And so far, I'm no longer that wet tissue towel, just having to run around yellow all the time. Alright, 3 more to go. Let's explore this mine some more. And this entire Erebor area, you gotta use your goat, which is nice because I get to pull out my treasure-laden goat. It's been so long since I've used my goat. It's almost got that, some parts of this area has got that old kickback Mordor expansion feel that I kind of miss. I recently did this video with Andang, for those of you that know Andang, and we were sharing about our favorite expansions, I think. And I said, which one would I do again? I would do Moria, man. Moria is kind of my favorite. I love the design, I love the entire experience. These days, when you're taking an alt-true, you just kind of lose heart. Because of how long it takes. Oh boy. Did I aggro this one too? I did. And I'm rooted. What's my breakout of root skill? I don't have it. Doesn't matter. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we get out of here. Gotta say though, because how long has it been? 5 months? Yeah, maybe 5 months since I've been back on Landrevel just questing. I'm looking at the world chat. It's nice to see old names, nice to see old people that I used to interact with in chat. There's almost like a homecoming vibe about coming back to LOTRO and playing it again on the Landy, Although most of my friends pretty much gone at this point in terms of my old kinship. Alright, last one. Let's go. I'm dying to see this new area, man. I kind of wish I had 100 like 115. And probably just pew pew everything just so fast. Undergeared captain, running in red. Can't even kill a deep claw. And now I'm rooted. Where is my breakout skill? And, you know, I've been kind of wondering about that. Now that we have 120, right? That's a new level cap. Has there been new skills for classes? And I don't really see it. I mean, you're at least for me, the class trait panel, it hasn't really given me anything new. Even though we do get 5 levels, I thought, I mean, I did get something new. Maybe like a passive skill. Let me just check real quick. I remember getting something. Inner light, I think. Yeah, this one was something I got at 116. Your journeys have taught you more effectively endure the shadow more. So that's plus 40 light of Earendil there. So that's good news. If I were now to go back to Mordor, which I don't see a point because, you know, that content is sort of done. But that was one of the passive skills at 116. I'm now 117. I haven't gotten anything yet, so maybe the next level, hopefully a new skill. I mean, I read the patch notes. I didn't see it in there. I haven't looked a lot at the Bull Roarer beta stuff, so I don't actually know what's coming or not. I don't want to spoil that, so let's go ahead and rock with it. But you know, if anybody's playing LOTRO in chat right now and you guys are already at the max level, hey, do you guys get new skills for your classes? Let me know.
We are dwarves and the folk of Durin.
Alright, here we go. So, I knew very little of the plans of the Keeper of the Coffers, which is Nori, obviously, but I knew enough. He made for the Steel Keep, so that's confirmed. Nori has gone ahead and went to thikil-gundu, which is now where we're gonna go. I could not follow him as he wished, but I offered to keep his home in order until he returns. So, here, take this key, perhaps. Alright, so he just gave us a key through to Nori's house. I guess we're gonna go and inspect for nodes and stuff. Very nitpicky here, but this is kind of where you start to see the design, or, you know, you try to get behind the developer's head in terms of how do you pace these quests? How do you put this sort of investigative stuff together to make it like a fun thing, right? We've just gone ahead and killed 6 of these claws now to get a key. Now we gotta find Nori's house. But before that, we gotta go talk to Dory too. So yeah, let's go back to Dory. I'm not lying, guys, when I say there's a lot of back and forth. LOTRO is one of those games. Gotta get used to it, and I'm going the wrong way. Welcome back to LOTRO. Anyway, how long's it been the stream? About 30 minutes now? Should have asked it earlier, but hey, let me know if the audio is good, if you guys can hear the in-game stuff, if you guys can hear the mic just fine. If not, I will fix it for you guys. In the meantime, those of you watching, hey, what are you guys playing this weekend? Let me know what's on your weekend gaming plans. I've gotten so many emails about Red Dead Redemption coming out. I've seen all the GameSpot, all the IGN previews for Red Dead. I'm pretty excited about Red Dead. A lot of my friends have been playing the new Assassin's Creed. I mean, these two are not really MMOs, but they're kind of dominating the gaming news space right now, and that's all I see in my, you know, news feed for work. We've got a vlog coming out sometime in the next couple of days, and I'm going to be sharing what I'm jumping into next. But if you guys are here from my YouTube channel, then I'm just letting you know that I will be reviewing Update 23 for LOTRO, Where Dragons Dwell. Hopefully I'll get it done by the 22nd, because 22nd I need to go to Murkmire, The Elder Scrolls Online. New DLC there too. Alright, here we go. You found the dwarf, did you? Very good. What did he have to say of my brother? You explained to Dory that Bell did not offer much in the way of new information, but he did offer the key to Nori's home. A key? My brother entrusted his key to this Debel before me? Ouch, yeah. If I was a brother there, I would feel a burn, really. We shall have much to discuss. My brother was not one to leave things unorganized. He's the keeper of the coffers, after all. However, if Nori has traveled to thikil-gundu, I must know his course through the Ered Mithrin. Their unfriendly lands, new home only to orcs and dragons. Dragons, I like dragons. And that confirms the orcs, because like I said, I did see players fighting Gundabad orcs in some of these new instances, so that could be interesting. It is to Tumnu Doom. Oh my gosh. I'm bad at these names, but I'm trying my best here. We must go. Tumnu Doom. Those are the dwelling halls of Erebor, and it is there Nori makes his home. I will wait you as I... Oh gosh. Now I gotta find Tumnu Doom. How do I even know where to find Tomb? Well, I guess I go back to the Great Hall then. Oh boy. Alrighty. I wonder if it's because of the add-on that I'm using or the plugin that I'm using, but the interior spaces of all these maps, like, you can barely see anything. Like, can you guys see the interior of the map here? I can't even zoom in, so I might have to get rid of my custom skin here if that is in fact what is affecting the interior maps. But that made it so challenging, because one of the first few quests that you get in here is to talk to the residents here in Erebor and get their, you know, ask them what sort of rumors they're hearing about the Iron Hills and what's happening over in East. And you have to find like 10 different dwarves or something in that room. And because you know, you can't zoom in or out of your mini-map, which is a great hint, because if there's any quest giver, you would see the one ring icon on the minimap that tells you, okay, this guy is a quest objective, or, you know, this is an NPC that you want to talk to. But because you can't interact with the minimap, you can't zoom in and out, it just makes it such a painful experience. And what makes it worse is now, you know, some of these interior maps for like rooms and stuff like that, you just can't zoom. Kind of annoying. Alright, let's see if I'm going the right way now, finding Nori's house, because this is going to be the 4th time I get lost here if I am wrong. Okay, yeah, wrong turn. So generally, with Tomb New Doom, there's going to be an overhead bridge. This one, don't miss this, if you're trying to get to the other side. Because I believe Althi, the gem cutter's house, is also on the other side, and you have to take these stairs up and bypass that overhead bridge to the other side. This is what I'm talking about. This is the 3rd time now I've come in here and I totally missed this bridge. This is what's going to take me across. Alright, am I going down or am I going straight? I guess I'm going straight. That is Nori's home. Yes, we did it. Oh, look, it's Dory. Dory shifts uncomfortably outside Nori's home. Hey, relax. Your brother doesn't... Oh, hang on, I gotta talk to him first, huh? You have the spare key, yes? Let us see what my brother left behind. Okay, let's do this. What? Requirements not met? What are you talking about? Apparently I don't have the key. How do I not have the key? Oh, I gotta click on it. Oh, come on. Really, LOTRO? Really? Alright. Don't make that mistake, guys. Keys in your inventory if you get stuck. Because what LOTRO usually does is they put the key right beside the quest objective. You just click it. But this one didn't do it, so here we go. Let's check out Nori's crib here. Let's see if we got... Oh, you know what the first thing I saw was? I thought I saw the Skyrim logo up there, but it's not. But yeah, obviously dragon themed. Let's see if he's got any stuff from his adventures with Bilbo. That'll be nice. Just for some lore tidbits for those of us that, you know, like that kind of stuff. There's a map over there. More dragon paintings and stuff. Here we got a room. Actually, what am I doing? I'm sure Dory's going to make me go back to these rooms to search anyway, so why do the work now? At least Netdevil did not allow my brother's home to fall into disrepair. Dory glances around Nori's home and pauses upon a stack of papers piled on the dining table. I think my brother left more hastily than he expected to. Look! There are papers piled up on the table, and I see other curiosities left about that I would like to examine. So take a look at the stuff. Let's do it. So here we go. Scattered notes first. Ooh. Oh. Hey now. That's Nori sitting down with a bunch of townspeople, so I guess they're just kind of replaying the scene of what set him off on this adventure, so that's pretty cool. That's some handy new tech there for LOTRO. What else we got here? After clearing the dust away, Nori drew forth his armor of old. The time had come. Okay, so he's definitely made up his mind now to go on this adventure, so let's go ahead and pick up some more notes. Thikil-gundu had once possessed great wealth, Nori thought, and now it's set unguarded. That's a big mistake. Any place that is unguarded in mountains is a big mistake. Just trying to go there. Last one. After countless hours of study, Nori learned that the hoarding vault lay beneath the eyes of the seven. I have no idea what that means, but I guarantee you we're going to find out. This quest back sooner or later, we're going to find out. So I'm missing one more. In here? For a small house, you can get confused in here. A couple of rooms here. Let's see. There we go. That's his bed. Thikil-gundu was lost, Nori thought, but it was not the way of dragons to abandon their hordes. You knew that. You knew that. There's definitely a dragon involved here, so he took the risk to go anyway. I guess it runs in the entire family, so here we go. My brother believes that because the Great Cold Drake was defeated in, oh, I can't remember the name of the Drake. Something starts with a V, but I wasn't around when this content dropped, so because that Great Cold Drake was defeated, that our old hordes lay unguarded by dragons perhaps, but the orcs will not have abandoned them. As the king under the mountain said, thikil-gundu's best forgotten. The Longbeards have found only misfortune and death in the Steel Keep. If I do not aid my brother, this expedition will be his doom. We are forbidden from traveling, but perhaps King Thorin will be merciful upon my family and allow me to pursue him into the Ered Mithrin. Alright, so here we go. This is going to auto-port us to King Thorin 3. Let's see his verdict. He's definitely going to send us. That's for sure. Nori seems fixated upon the king under the mountain and barely seems to notice your approach. King Thorin 3 Stonehelm, king under the mountain. I beg leave to travel into Ered Mithrin. You have forbidden Durin's folk to return to the Steel Keep, thikil-gundu, but that is not my purpose. I go in search of my brother, Nori. I am a loyal dwarf to Erebor, and I've fought and bled in its defense. From the Easterlings, from Bolg, all I ask is the chance to save Nori from his folly. Will you grant me leave, king under the mountain? It's a good pitch. I would have done it differently, though. I've gone all sappy and emotional, and I'll talk about Durin, bring his son into it, just get him pumped up. And in terms of dwarven design, King Thorin, I mean, I've seen Nine over in the Iron Hills, and Nine's got this fake golden ear, and he's got a gem for an eye and everything. The character design for Nine looks really good. So in comparison, King Thorin is pretty bland here. Let's go ahead and do this. Oh boy, wall of text. I hear your word story of the company. Your deeds and those of your kin are not forgotten to any who dwelled in Erebor, but Nori has acted in defiance of my edict. Whether the expedition is successful or not, there will be consequences. I know well that your brother Ori was among those lost in Balin's expedition, Moria. And I know as well, as you do, that this bears a resemblance to our efforts to reclaim Khazad-dûm. Both Balin's expedition and the Iron Garrison have failed. And if future losses may still be prevented, they must be. And so, Tori, I grant you leave. Oh, that was unexpected. Okay, will I be going too? I'm sure I'll be going. So that's the name of the cold drake that we're talking about. Vethug, Wintermind, or Wintermind, has flown from battle gravely wounded, so... Alright, so I guess we're gonna go now. And that's the cold drake that is probably awaiting us over there. Vethug Wintermind. Such a name for a dragon, right? You have my truest gratitude, King under the Mountain. I will do as you command. Story turns to you. What do you say? Let's begin our preparations. Here we go. Second part of the quest back begins in the most predictable of ways. Look at that. Collect rope times 6. Collect water skin times 6. Collect bedrolls times 6. This is the two sides of LOTRO that as a returning player you get frustrated by. On the one side, you have this excellent story kind of brewing, and you're really dying to see new quests, a better design, something that flows better, because you know there's a sense of adventure here. Like the first part of the new quest back where you're going to the Iron Hills for the first time, you're like, I can't wait to get there, but you can't because you got to do all this petty shit. And now for the second part of the quest back, it's the same thing. It builds you up, but a lot of the design systems for the quest is meant to make you spend more time doing all this mundane stuff before you go out. This is one of my biggest criticisms with the Mordor expansion. Lots of artificially injected mundane tasks just to keep you doing busy work instead of going straight to the fun and pursuing the adventure. Here we go again. So to duty and to king, duty to king and kin. Very well, I'm not the young dwarf I once was. So I'm not going to read this crap because it's so predictable. We're going to go and, you know, gather all this crap for the adventure. Let's go and do that. Oh boy. This is a carbon copy of what happened at the beginning of this quest back before we head out to the Iron Hills with the Gem Cutter. It's the same thing. Talk to dwarves, gather this, collect iron ore, and you know, and when you get to the Iron Hills and you go to the various different settlements, that's the same thing. Before they even talk to you, or before you can have a favor of the arts or whatever, you have to do the same thing. Clean up our mess. Do this, do that. I mean, it's an MMORPG staple. I'm talking about the concept of the sort of time waster busy work quests. Some games do them in a way that ties it into the story in a way that makes sense and it flows better because it's a sense of progressing where your character is from a point A to point B. Now, in certain games, you have to look at A and B them. Is this doing anything for my character? Is this moving my character's progression and you know, sense of adventure from point A to point B or not? And that's how you can tell what the developer's purpose of the design was. Is it to keep you here longer, or is it to pump you up for the next part of the adventure? That's the classic way for me of how I A and B, you know, MMOs that kind of do this. Uh-oh. I get worried whenever I look at the loading bar down there, and if it doesn't move after like 5 seconds, then I know I have an issue. This has been happening quite a bit too. Like, I will get a bunch of DCs and crashes. I'm gonna give it maybe a minute here just to see if it loads itself. But I'm pretty sure I'm about to DC. And the message that usually comes up is connection, spelled in Middle Earth, XXION. Connection has been lost. Oh, well. So, I guess I'll turn to chat then. What up, chat? How you guys doing? It's a Friday night. I'm spending my Friday night in Middle Earth, but it seems like I'm going to have to restart the game here. So this is not working out. Come on, move, loading bar. Don't do this to me. Yeah, it's gone. So I will log back out and log back in again. Oh, LOTRO client is not responding. Come on. Alright, bear with me, folks. 1 minute. I'll get back in game. I am so waiting for that 64-bit client whenever that comes out. They say it's been in the works. A lot of these performance stuff, network stuff, you know, crashes, CTDs. I would love to see just get rid out of the game completely. That would make, I think, the overall MMO experience feel less dated, I suppose. But then again, not too many games that are like 10 years old, 12 years old have that sort of budget to completely revamp itself. And, you know, in the future, setting some games have to contend with stuff like a new Lord of the Rings game coming out that had already gotten so much publicity when we don't even know the name of the game yet. We don't even know what kind of game it would be, if it's going to be an MMO or not. But, you know, SSG has to contend with all that stuff. And frankly speaking, you know, from their point of view, I don't think they're worried about it at all. They're not worried about competition. LOTRO as a game, and this is from an insider feel, you know, for me especially, like, I think in a way SSG has got to a point where they feel like you can't touch us because we have a very loyal player base. We have people that will, whatever we put out, would spend the money, because this is like Middle Earth, you know, it's established now. We are sort of the only ones that can reproduce this. And that's where, if I was part of that team, I'd be a little careful and not too sure of that. I wouldn't be so assured there, because anything can change, you know, in the MMO space. But as far as reproducing an authentic Middle Earth, this is it. Until something else comes along. Good lord, man. Load. Shit. What's going on? Why isn't my game loading tonight? So, I consider myself a returning player. I don't even know if this is normal right now, so let me just do a quick search here. Loading screen freeze. Let's see why. Is it because I haven't updated my game in a long time? I haven't logged in a while. Loading screen freeze. LOTRO. Oh gosh, the first result is from 2008. Flipping 10 years ago. Any newer results? Okay, here we go. Main character stuck at loading screen. Now that's not my issue. There we go. Stuck on loading screen. February this year. The solution was I ended up deleting some caches or reinstalling the game. No, that's not an option. I can't reinstall. I don't have time for that. LOTRO crashes. Alright, let's see. Oh, this is not a crash. This is a freeze. I'm not loading at all. Any LOTRO players in chat? Suggestions welcomed. Yeah, some of these results are like barely from a long time ago. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna Alt F4 again and restart the entire thing and see if that loads. I'm gonna do an old trick that I usually do for LOTRO, which is I log into another character and then I'll log into my main character. That usually tends to work. I mean, it's worked for me like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And oh, what was that? Reaver Lime 21 has now followed the Twitch channel. Thank you, Reaver Lime. I do apologize. You're looking at a blank screen right now because I'm having trouble loading into the game ever since I kind of got into Erebor. So I need to get past that main character loading screen and let's see if that works. So here's my password. All right, 3rd time's a charm. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to log into like a lobby alt, see if I can get in game, and then log back out to my main character. Like I said, this is a very old trick. I've been doing that for like, God, a bunch of years now. That usually works. So let's see if this one works. All right, check in chat real quick. I see that movie. We got Leonard Apples. Is this all characters? You mean on the screen earlier? Oh yeah, those are all my characters. Well, I don't play any of them anymore. Like, the captain is my main character, basically. But I do have 12 of them, and a lot of them are kind of, you know, halfway here and there. So I'm going to log into some random one, and let's just jump in, see if it loads. Come on, load. Come on, uh-oh. Oh, yes, alright, there we go. So I know now that if this one loads, I do have a chance. Alright, now let's get back out. And back into my main character, and let's hope it doesn't happen again. Kind of sucky, really, when you're trying to, get past a stream. Ered Apple says, I mean, was it getting stuck on all of them? No, just that one, just my main character. So, by doing that little thing, hopefully it fixes the issue. But on my main character, at least, this has happened a lot in Mordor. But in Mordor, it's more of a, instant kind of crash to desktop kind of thing. And this has been happening since Galtrav, since 2011. What's the expansion pack? Dunland. Every time you swap a zone and you go back to Galtrav, you'd crash. When Minas Tirith came out, that was the #1 culprit. You can go anywhere in the world and you quest in old Arnorian for a bit in Minas Tirith, and then you go back to Bree, crash. That thing hasn't changed yet. There we go. We're back in. Sweet, 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 sweet. All right, let's go. I spent almost an hour, trying to get out of here and get to the new zone, thikil-gundu. And it seems it's not just LOTRO that wants to keep me here. It's the game. The client itself just doesn't want me to move forward. All right, so here we go. What do we got? Water skin, coil of rope.
Alright, Leonard says, I remember we used to call Galtrav Lagtrav, yep, before we found out what lag really was. Yeah, that was a beloved name that we did give Galtrav Lagtrav. For those that don't know, Galtrav is the main hub in Dunland, because at the time, before 2011, we all were chilling out in the Mines of Moria expansion. The hub there was called the 21st Hall, and the reason that place was super popular is because probably in an area that's really small, you've got the auction house, you've got the bank, you've got the crafting stations, everything is just in one little area. Super easy, super convenient. You don't have to worry about anything, so that's why a lot of people kind of congregated there. And then when Galtrav came out with Dunland, that was another convenient area, super convenient hub. The only problem was, you know, at the time, a lot of people would use that area, so loading in was kind of laggy and everything, choppy. As for the entire zone itself of Dunland, we affectionately named it Stunland, because every freaking mob, from cows to you know, enemies, Dunlandings, they all have a stun skill, and no matter what you fought, no matter what you did out on the landscape, you'd always get stunned. So that's why we called it Stunland and Lagtrav. These are good stories. We got lots of like LOTRO stories to tell. That's cool, man. Thanks for bringing that up there. That was a nice trip down memory lane. It's so many years. It's what, 7 years now since Rise of Isengard. All right, let's go to the next area. Here we go, Baradhor. I'm just gonna kill this thing real quick because it's in the way. Bedroll, coil of rope, and just for a trick for, you know, new players to LOTRO, when you have a bunch of quests like these, you know, picky clicky stuff, your delete key is the hotkey to find your interactable object. So when you're in an area where there's full of, you know, clutter, just hit your delete key, and that's gonna find the nearest object for you to, you know, click on it real quick. That's a new player tip that I've constantly used throughout the expansions and throughout any new content. It really helps. So I'll just show you how it works. So here we go. I'm going to hit delete real quick, and it'll highlight the coil of rope over there, just like that. So if you can't click on it for whatever reason, just hit your U button, and that's the short key for use, and voila. That kind of gets you out of a tight spot, really, if you really can't see, or, you know, if another player's going to block in your view. Man, what am I missing? I'm missing 2 coils of rope and 3 water skins. So now, because my minimap isn't showing it anymore, I gotta go around and do that. Spamming my delete key as I run around here. Oh, look at that, the minecart. Alright, this is the first. This is a minecart moving by itself, which I did not notice when I was questing here the first time, before leaving for the Iron Hills. So that's a nice thing. Come on, water skin, coils of rope. What am I missing here? Unless it's on the other side, so it's not just in the mines, it could be on the other side too, in the housing area. And that would be a PETA. Should I go any deeper? Nothing here. I've already been here. We got Esquire Arctic Frost over there, just pew-pewing away. Oh, come on. Well, let's go check the north and south. Because I went straight here, I didn't really check up there, right? So let's go see if I missed anything. Nada. So I just made an entire clean sweep of the area. Let me just check real quick and see if I missed anything here. Alright, can be found throughout the whole under the mountain, including the new loads of Nathrak. So there's 2 areas. I've just cleared this is the new loads of Nathrak, because I guess I'm going back into the hall. I guess upstairs where kind of like people are congregating near the fireplaces and stuff, that's where they're going to be. My only issue is going back and forth between maps is the loading screen, and because of what happened earlier, yeah, I don't want to go past a lot of loading screens tonight, just in case I kind of, you know, stop loading again. So that's what I wanted. Coils of rope. Good. There's 2 over there. Water skin over here. Alright, I'm done with the rope. 2 more water skins and we're out of here. To thikil-gundu. It's gonna take me a while to get used to that name. Water skin. You know, the thing is, sometimes you use logic to think of where something might be. Like water skins, you think like, oh, you know, dining area maybe. But the first water skin I picked back there was by the vendors, right? So you got to throw logic out the window and just go around looking for them wherever again. I'm gonna go up. The dining area is actually back there the other way. It's over here. So I'm actually going the wrong place. Ah. Alright, let's check here. Pretty sure I'll get a water skin here. There we go. Right by the ale barrels too. And one more by the... What is this? Fountain? Waterfall? Oi! What? I was so sure that thing was interactable, and that just disappeared. There's one above me, apparently. This one just disappeared. How did that happen? I picked up one here, and the one in front of the waterfall just disappeared. Like it became uninteractable. What the heck? Hey, that's cheating now. Alright, I'm gonna go up then. If you guys want me up there so bad, fine. I'll go up there. Done, finally. Oh, we're gonna go into Nori's home now. Why couldn't you meet us in the front? Come on, man. We're trying to go on an adventure. Deliver the calls of rope, water skins, and bedrolls to Dori in Nori's home. So this is where a mithril coin is really tempting, you know, because a mithril coin, for those that don't know, is mithril coins are kind of like your semi or sub-premium currency. So you've got LOTRO points, which buys all the good stuff from the store, including content and expansion packs and quest packs. And then you've got mithril coins, which are more of your convenience kind of tokens, where spend 20 to instantly unlock a new tier for your legendary weapon kind of thing, or spend 8 to get a bonus roll for your daily Hobbit presents, or spend 1, you know, to travel to... Oh, never mind. It's not spend 1, it's spend 5. When did that change? I used to remember when this thing was first implemented, like, you can automatically port to an objective or a turn-in NPC or whatever for like 1 mithril coin. So that was kind of affordable. But now it's 5. So that's pretty pricey. I'm definitely not spending 5 mithril coins. I'm just gonna spend my time. But you can see how clever they kind of worked that out. You know, somewhere in SSG, I believe there's like one dev that is really self-conscious, and he's going like, I know we made a lot of these quests kind of long-winded and stuff. You know, lots of back and forth, so that we can kind of drive the sales of mithril coins, because a lot of people would do it. A lot of people, I know people in my close circle that does that uses the mithril coins just to bypass a lot of that back and forth. Never mind some of the latest content. Back then, you know, if you remember your early epic books, like in the Troll Shaws, when you had to go between Elrond and Rivendell and back to the Troll Shaws again, that's lots of back and forth. So that's where I personally have used these mithril coins myself, just to get past that. Okay, I've got some bad news. I'm stuck. Again. Oh no, why? Why are you doing this to me? So I can't move. I can see chat moving, like chat's moving. This is my connection right now. My latency is 279, and that's because I'm playing from Southeast Asia. Some of you that have been following for a while, you guys will know that. So I'm playing on the North American server, so you know my ping and latency isn't that great. But tonight just seems really poor for my connection, man. I'm not moving. I can't dismount. Alright, Alt F4. Let's do this again. It's turning out to be crap so far. The entire thing tonight was I want to show you guys the second part of the quest back. You know, we can go to that thikil-gundu and see that other zone, but it's not working out. If this happens like a couple more times, then I'm probably going to call it a night, guys. Import what I can to YouTube and just put it there. And put out the review for update 23 whenever I'm done with it. Like I said, I've got about 6 days, really, before the Murkmire DLC for ESO comes out, and then I'm going to go review that. And then I've got 2 days to prepare that before Aeon 6.0 comes out, and I'm definitely reviewing that. So I'm going to have a really tight schedule for my YouTube channel in the next couple of weeks. So I kind of want to get LOTRO out of the way and get the review out on my YouTube channel. Oh, wrong password? That can't be right. Let's try that again. There we go. Alright, 2 more tries. If I, do anything funny, like if I lag crash or I don't load again, 2 more things, then I'm calling it night, go to bed early, wake up tomorrow morning, and just quest. Let's get to 120. Let's see the new stuff. I know there's a bunch of 3-mans out, so I'll try and grab some friends, maybe Wigga, whoever, and run that just for some footage and see what the new content is all about. I haven't run any new instances, believe it or not. Even with Mordor, I've run maybe 1 new instance in Mordor, but beyond that, the previous quest back or whatever instance in between, I didn't even get to try those summer special festivals or whatever. I haven't really gotten a chance to do it, so. There's a bunch of group content that I've kind of missed in between, which is something that I wanted to come back and check out, especially those like festival instances that sounded interesting. There's something about a cat. LOTRO being smart there with the cat thing. I'll check in chat real quick. Leonard says it's 5 in the new zone and goes down to 1 when it's not new anymore. Ah, that makes sense. Right, so if the quest pack is new, or if the zone and the region's brand new, then it's going to cost 5 mithril coins to port to, the objective or whatever. But as soon as that becomes relevant, or it becomes a new zone comes out, then everything else goes down to 1. That makes sense. Derps in chat says, play some MapleStory 2. Oh, no. So here's the problem. You will notice that when I first tried to stream Maple, before the review came out, I tried to do it on Twitch, right? The thing was, I can only play MapleStory 2 when with my VPN, which is TunnelBear. Because that is next in America. The global MapleStory 2 is for every other region except Southeast Asia, which is such bullshit. So I had to buy the VPN just to, get that review out. And so yeah, the problem is when I use my VPN, I can't stream. I can't stream that well because the VPN doesn't have the same speed that my normal ISP. Oh, come on, I'm not loading again. Ah, what a disaster tonight's turning out to be. Sorry guys, this is really such a bummer. This is either the connection between my ISP and the SSG ports that is just not working out. I have pretty much done everything that I needed to do in terms of putting LOTRO and whatever else behind, away from my firewall and all that stuff. I've done my due diligence, MMOs and LOTRO. This is not my first rodeo, but I just don't know why tonight is being such a pain. Unless this happens whenever a new quest pack comes out. I don't know. I mean, 6-7 hours ago on launch day itself, I wasn't having any issues like this, but maybe I guess because it's the streaming, which is kind of a bummer. You guys go through any of these? You guys, Leonard, whoever else in chat, you guys that play LOTRO? Does this happen to you a lot? Or is it just me? This is my punishment for abandoning LOTRO and going to play and review other games. to grow a YouTube channel by abandoning your first MMO. This is your punishment. You don't get to play. Well, fair enough. Whoop-de-doo. Turf says, "Oh man, that sucks big time." Yeah, I mean, what can you do? What can you do? The good news is I have about maybe 30 gigs of video that I've already recorded from my time questing through the Iron Hills, you know, doing that Easterling side quest chain and everything. So I'm going to jump into my champ here, who, by the way, looks identical to my captain. I was going through a phase where, you know, me and my captain were on top of the world, and I wanted to make all my characters look like my captain. I don't know what phase that was, but that was the phase. So my champ and my captain look exactly alike. So, you know, when I used to run with kinmates and friends, they were like, because they look the same, they would think that I'm on a captain, and they would ask for a specific buff, and I'd be like, "No, I'm on my champ. What are you talking about?" You know. So that psychology was pretty funny. Okay, so yeah, just keep your eyes on the look of my champ here. So that's my champ, right? Actually, you know, it's better if I do this on the login screen, so you can actually see it there. Bree's pretty empty. I mean, it is a Friday, right? So here's this is my champ. That's my cabbie. Identical twins, y'all. But yeah, I like doing that just to throw people off. Let's go back to my cabbie, and he's definitely gonna load this time. I hope. Fingers crossed. Come on, loady, loady. Come on, big boy. Come on, big boy, load. You gotta give it a pep talk. There we go. Alright, checking in chat. Derp says, "To be fair, I'm just waiting for Nexon to F it up again, but some horrible pay to win in the game." Are you talking about Maple? Yeah, that's the thing. Apparently, because Maple Story 2 has been out in Korea for like 3 years now, they did implement something in the store, and everybody kind of revolted. So Nexon removed that, and they kind of learned their lesson about it. So that's why the global version so far has been really toned down in terms of monetization. Everything in there is just, you know, tippy-tappy, by the book kind of thing. But hey, like I said in the review, you know, you never really know when an MMO could change just like that. How LOTRO went free to play, how the whole loot box thing happened, and that's just one example. So many games have gone down that path where you just never know. A situation changes, the game has to make money somewhere, and you know, they just sell their soul. Truth be told, though, I mean, like, for those in chat, like, does it bother you if a game has pay-to-win mechanics? Does it bother you in a way that because you're associated with a pay-to-win game and that makes you pissed off? Or is it because you're actively now feeling like you're consciously playing with other players that didn't earn their, you know, whatever status or endgame gear, or it's because of PvP maybe, and you know that you're fighting in PvP against other players that maybe bought their gear? What's the quantifying factor there for you guys? Like, because sometimes, you know, even for me, when I play some games, I'm like, oh, pay to win, F this game, you know, I used to play it a lot, and then I start to realize, like, how does that affect me, like, personally, in a way that, why are people so angry about it? Why am I so angry about it? Like, I bitched about LOTRO putting raid gear in the loot box, and then I realized I don't even freaking raid anymore, so why am I making such a big fuss? So, you know, there were days when I would kind of debate with myself, that kind of thing. It just seems these days, you know, when pay to win and MMO, players that are associated with that MMO, when they start to realize the direction of where the store is going or where monetization systems are going, they kind of be like, it's kind of a shameful thing to be associated with this game that I'm playing, which is now labeled pay to win, you know? And I do see a lot of that in, like, BDO. I remember during my Black Desert Online streams, I was playing it, and I mentioned something about pay to win, and all those people that were watching the game, they were BDO players, you know, they're just like, hey, it's not pay to win, isn't that. And after the review came out, a lot of people were like, yeah, you know, to think about it, it was a pay to win game, but I like it for X and X reasons, you know? This guy's name, Rusty Nail, is pretty awesome, because Rusty Nail is the name of a song by a Japanese band called Japan, which is a pretty awesome band for those of you that like your rock and metal, or your J-rock. That's a little tidbit for you. Okay, finally we're in. Humph. Of all the dwarves I hoped to gather, I have found only 4. I spoke first to the dwarves I traveled with on the quest of the old lonely mountain, but only Bolfer and Gloin have agreed to join us. So we got Bolfer and Gloin, Ghibli's daddy. Wow, how old is he? Is he even enough to travel? As for the others, Dwalin must tend to his duties at Thorin's Hall. Obviously, he's a steward there in Ered Luin, and I would not ask Bomber or the fine dwarves who bear him to make such a journey. Okay, but the elder of the Stout Axis, the one named Spakorth. Why have I heard that before, or where have I heard that before, rather? He's a keen dwarf. I spoke to him of our task in Ered Mithrin, and he offered 2 of the finest warriors with me. Noth and Drari are young in the years of dwarves. But if the wisdom of my kinsfolk should fail us, the might of the Stout Axis will deliver us from trouble. Alright, so prepare packs for Dorian Company. Let's see what preparing packs mean. So we got packs all over the place. So that's Drari over there. And like I said, 9 got a nice character dwarf model update. He looks good. So does Dwalin. No, not Dwalin, sorry. Durin. Thorin 3 Son. Let's just go ahead and check out some of these models here. I can't really see. It's kind of blocking. Oh, Bofer kind of looks the same, right? Noth is one of these new characters. Can't see because of his helm. Oh well, I'm sure we'll get a close-up sooner or later. Let's go ahead and pack this packs up. Ooh, that's a long clicky period. What is that? 10 seconds at least? Yeah. Be smart, guys. Learn to see. Learn to know when you know, some of these mechanics are being injected into the game. This is artificially, you know, slowing you down. Some games will have like a 1 second click period because they know there's a bunch of fun stuff waiting for you on the other side. Then there's other games that let's keep players, you know, at this part for as long as possible, just to what's the word that Bilbo used in the movies? Like butter stretched over too much bread. That was it, right? Yeah, that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Pros and cons, y'all. Pros and cons. I mean, I'm still excited to go on this adventure. It's a new zone. It's a new quest pack. It's LOTRO. Come on. One more packy. Hey, packy. Come to Papa. This one I'm going to stuck in some lembas bread that I've been keeping from my Rivendell days for about, well, over 6 years, 7 years now. Yeah, I still have lembas, right? No, it's Daleman's Crams. Damn it, yeah. Lembas is like level 40 stuff. Alright, check in chat. I see chat moving real quick. Sorry, guys. What do we got? Derb says, and don't really have a problem with cash gear in games, but as soon as there are achievements that can only be earned by buying that stuff, maybe a bit like the world first and wow. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. It's just if you buy better gear to kill stuff faster, then it kind of start to stink. Yep. He also says time savers or that stuff is something I don't care about. So basically, pay for convenience stuff you don't really care about. Yeah, in a way, you know, most of the MMOs that I play, especially the ones that I rave a lot about, you know, ESO, Guild Wars 2, they all have, you know, character boosts, level up, faster stuff that is in the store. And to be fair, especially maybe Guild Wars 2, you don't even need them because you level up really fast. It's very ult-friendly. ESO maybe, you'd probably buy a few of those grand experience scrolls or whatever, but those don't generally bother me if players themselves use it. Derp says, what do you think about the Hobbit movies? Oh, good question. Let me get this question out of the way, then I'll get back to that, alright? But in the meantime, I'm going to relay that question to everybody in chat that's watching. Hey, what do you guys think of the Hobbit movies? Let me know, and I'll kind of read out your responses after I'm done with this turn-in here. Alright, very good, Helheim. After dusk, we will gather before the gates of Erebor and begin our journey to the Ered Mithrin under the cover of darkness. I like that. There's a son of a, I guess, a hobbity journey about this thing. If you have any unfinished business in Erebor, I would see to it. The hour soon approaches. So I have pretty much done everything I need to do here. My chapter 8 of the Black Book of Mordor simply says, find Durin on the road that climbs into the Grey Mountains. So that's going into Ered Mithrin anyway. So I'm pretty much done here. I'm all up to date. Both my Black Book and my questing is parallel, on par. So let me just see where, ooh, there he is. So here is where we are. Durin is over there, and there's already a stable which, by the way, looks like the only stable... Oh, no, I take that back. There's one more here in Scarhold. I can't click on Scarhold, but I can click on the Glimmer Deep, and that's all I got. So, let's go! Off we go. Up, wrong way. Keep forgetting. Alright, while we make that journey, let's now look at some of these Hobbit responses. Derp says, horrible. Leonard says, I try not to think about the Hobbit movies. Come on, guys. They can't be that bad. Derp says, or rather, too many movies for a little sauce of material. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Too much butter spread over too much bread, you know? Derp also says, I never saw the Battle of the Five Armies. Oh. So, I'm going to play devil's advocate here and just say that, you know, Peter Jackson gets a lot of flack, and deservedly so. You know, he's paid a lot of money. The studios that he worked for, he and his buddies, which are Weta Workshop, Richard, what's his name? But Richard and Tanya, the two heads at Weta Workshop. Oh no, I'm stuck again. Come on. No, this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. It seems to be in the freaking Erebor that this happens so much. Oh no. Alright, screw it. Let's just do it. I'm not even going to complain anymore. I'm just going to get out of the game and just come back in. But yeah, you know, Richard and Tanya, Weta Workshop, and all those guys. Peter Jackson, deservedly so, takes a lot of the blame for it. Like, what are the complaints for The Hobbit? You know, too much CGI, kind of looks fake, right? The beards, the hair. I see all that stuff. I watched The Hobbit movies in the normal version. I watched it in IMAX 3D, and I watched it at what FPS or whatever promotion they had at the time. I watched the first Hobbit 3 times, 3 different styles of their promotion that came out. And yeah, I saw a lot of that complaints. I can relate, you know, it looks kind of fake. Whereas, you know, the first trilogy had a lot of, what's the word? You know, prosthetics, and it was more practical effects, I suppose is what I'm looking for. The Hobbit was all CGI and digital, and I'm not trying to defend PJ here, but the first director that was supposed to take on the Hobbit movies was Guillermo del Toro, for those that do not know. And in the last minute, Guillermo had to pull out. So this was very, very close to the Hobbit, you know, having started production, but a lot of the set designs, a lot of the creature design, a lot of the effects and all that stuff was kind of designed and based around Guillermo del Toro's vision of what the Hobbit movies was. At the last minute, Peter Jackson kind of had to take that over, and he just didn't, at least in my opinion, he didn't have the time to implement what he needed to implement. If he was overseeing the project from start to finish, I do not think we would get the Hobbit movies that we got today. That's purely of an opinion, you know, but this, I guess, this is not, you know, to defend or whatever. It's just, that's the way it is. When you come in and take over, and, you know, you can name a bunch of movies out there when there's another director comes in to, you know, finish up another director's work or, you know, overtake the project, there's always going to be some inconsistencies, or it's just not going to go the way it's supposed to go. You know, we see this even with the biggest Hollywood blockbusters, you know, think of DC's Justice League, for example, and a whole bunch of things. So yeah, I kind of wish Pete had the balls to say, I'm going to do The Hobbit. No other director is going to touch a Middle-earth movie because that's my space. I know how to make a Middle-earth movie. Just give me the time, give me the money, and God willing, I'll get it done. You know, I like Guillermo del Toro. I like the style of his movies, but I just don't think a Middle-earth movie based on, you know, his vision would have worked. So they spent all this budget and all this early pre-production stuff kind of creating stuff for him, which eventually got thrown out. So that was kind of a waste. But the final movies that we got, the things that I like so far about it, I mean, yeah, I hated the CGI myself. I hated a lot of the stuff, you know, kind of corny, kind of cheesy, like made for kids. The fact that it was spaced out over 3 movies in a selfish way, I kind of enjoyed, because that simply means we get more Middle-earth kind of every year. and there was a sense of finality to it. Like, once the third Hobbit movie is gone, we will never see these guys again. You'll not see Gandalf, Ian McKellen play Gandalf again. That was kind of sad. So in a selfish way, I'm like, you know, that was Ian McKellen's last role as Gandalf, and that's it. He's not getting any younger. So it was a thing with all those characters, you know. That was probably Elijah Wood's last, you know, cameo as Frodo. We'll never see him in that space again. So I was kind of, in a way, selfishly happy that we got 3 movies just to prolong that. And I already knew after the first movie, because of how PJ was doing it, we were going to have another appendices, we were going to have another behind-the-scenes, in-depth, 24-hour video footage of the making and all that stuff. So in a selfish way, because there was the last of Middle-earth on video, on movie, on the big screen, I suppose, just, you know, closed one eye and rolled with it. And when you think of it that way, you enjoy it a lot more, as opposed to, you know, trying to be critical and picking out the hard part, really. Okay, so here we go. Let's go talk to Dory down here. Oh, look! They've got all the goats and stuff ready to go. This really does have an adventure, kind of like a Hobbit feel to it, right? So we've got all the goats here. Gloin's here. Let's see who else. Nath, that new dwarf. Who else here? Dory, obviously. Drary, Bofer. And goats. Do I get to pick my goat? I actually like that white goat a lot. But this person here, Elenil, she's got a nice looking goat. Like, this is the heavily armored goat. I've not seen that one before. I don't know how to get it. I do like mine, though. I think mine's pretty special because I've got the sacks of gold and the treasure coffer and everything. Alright, let's go and talk to Dory, and then I'll check it in chat real quick. Alright, it's time, Havelheim. Our preparations are made, our goats are watered and well rested, but one matter still remains. Dory gestures at the massive chest of gold and gemstones before him. This is but a small measure of my share of the treasure reclaimed from Smaug. Nice. And it's still greater wealth than most dwarves will ever know. I want you to deliver it to Ravenhill. Oh, Dory's giving away that share of the treasure to Thorin's sister. The Raven Chief. Oh no, I take that back. Wrong info. Because the sister was on Ravenhill, I thought it was going to go with the sister. No, it's going to the Raven Chief, Arca, or Archa, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And her people are fond of all that glimmers, and if her people would aid me in the search of my brother, I offer it all. Okay. Alright, let's go pick up that treasure. We'll just take a quick look what's in there. I see lots of gems and stuff. Goody good. Oh, bugger. Why do I have to carry it like that? Jeez, can I just put it on, like, my horse or something? And just... So now I've got to carry that all the way up to Ravenhill. This is the second time I'm doing a quest like this. When, was it the last quest spec? Yeah, the last quest spec, you had to, like I said, you know, you had to get Thorin's sister's approval to open up his grave to check whether the Arkenstone was still on his body, or on his corpse, I should say. And in order to get her to cooperate, you had to go and do a bunch of things, you know, grab water from the well and bring it back up. So this is like harkening back to the previous quest spec, really. But it's a good thing that they give you a speed boost, I suppose, so that's fair. But still, why couldn't we just pick it up and ride on our horses and go all the way up to Ravenhill? I'm going to take a shortcut and check in chat meantime. But yeah, Derp says, I never saw the Battle of the Five Armies. Yeah, I mean, whenever you get time, just, you know, maybe in a couple of years, put it on, have a nice drink, put on some wine, you know, just chillax. And it can get pretty sad, you know, at the end there, especially, at least for me, because I'm very invested in Tolkien and very invested in Middle-earth, you know, to see scenes where Thorin kind of asks for forgiveness from Bilbo, and Bilbo realizing that, you know, Thorin's gonna die and he'll never get a better chance to make up, you know, give their friendship a second chance or whatever. And I can't remember the exact phrase, but Thorin acknowledging that Bilbo is a hell of a good thief and a good friend, and, you know, Bilbo just losing it, that broke my heart, you know. That was nice. Okay, what do we got here? A crow. Oh, never mind, that's not a crow. Oh yeah, that is a crow. That's the Raven Chief. Oh my god, I was picturing in my head like a lady or an old woman or something, and I get a crow. Okay. A crow that speaks, no less. Ah, why have you come to Ravenhill? You open the chest of gold and gemstones before Archa, and explain that Dori has offered the share of his treasure in exchange for aid of the ravens. Aid of what sort, man? These glimmering trinkets and baubles please me, but I would know what is to be promised if I offer our aid. You explain that Dori's brother has taken an expedition to the Ered Mithrin in secret, and seeks for thikil-gundu, the Steel Keep. That is an accursed place. You may send 3 of my conspiracy into the Grey Mountains to search for Nori and his kinsfolk, but I will allow none to fly too near the Steel Keep. I have spoken, and I have heard. So let's go and direct ravens to search. Where do I find your Okay, I see ravens all over the place. This is Dis, by the way. That's Thorin's sister. I've been trying to get the name to come back to me. It just didn't. So where am I directing ravens again? Apparently in here. Oh, okay. They just showed up. Right. So they do have like a respawn timer kind of thing. And, oh. Well then. That's cool. So we're all competing with other players. Because they do have like a respawn timer here. Okay. So that's 1, 2 down. I guess I'll be the noble player and let everybody finish up before I do mine. So let's check in chat meantime. Derp says, what? Man, that is sad. Have you seen Pan's Labyrinth? I have, actually. And Derp says, I didn't know that, but for me, The Hobbit, with its 3 movies, felt like PJ wanted to milk his prestigious cash cow. You know, to be fair, if I think PJ kind of knew that 3 movies was too much, but then again, you have to look at the people above him. You know, by the time the Hobbit movies came around, it's no longer PJ's decision. The government of New Zealand got involved because, you know, when a Peter Jackson movie makes money in Middle-earth, that means New Zealand makes money. You have to think of it that way too. How much influence do they exert over the studio, and how much do they exert over PJ? If you know, the government feels like we got to have 3 movies, obviously, and have each of the premieres in Wellington, New Zealand. That's going to be good for New Zealand's tourism and all that stuff. Obviously, I'm not a Kiwi, so I can't really confirm that. But if it was my country and that was my countryman and fellow director in a small place like that, I would definitely milk the shit out of it, you know, just to put New Zealand on the map, to make more money as a country. I don't think you'll get that kind of stuff in America, because that's Hollywood, you know. They don't need to. But in special circumstances, like I said, I don't think PJ had too much control there. With the first movies, that's exactly what they wanted to do. They knew from the start, you know, 3 movies, because there's 3 books. Initially, for their first script, for Miramar, they only had a script for 2 movies. So that kind of sucky, you know, they had to compromise, but it all turned out well in the end. But if you ask me now, can you watch the Hobbit trilogy back to back and then put on the Lord of the Rings trilogy back to back? I tried that once, sometime, I think 2 years ago, right after I did my 10 Reasons to Play Lord of the Rings review. I tried doing that, you know, because it was, you know, pretty pumped up and everything. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I couldn't. I think I slept through the second Hobbit movie. Then I woke up again to watch Return of the King, which is my favorite of the entire trilogy. Return of the King is. Okay, so now my next objective is find Dori and company on the road to Ered Mithrin. So this is interesting. I am left to my own devices now. I gotta find the road out. And the thing about these maps is I don't even know how to read this. How do I get there? There's definitely a road. Somewhere up here, I guess. Let's just go find it. Okay. Seems like a breakthrough. Ah, I think I got it. Let's head up there. I'm gonna get up my rank 12 horse and get on my war steed. And this is where you guys will have to pray for me now, because War steeds tend to lag a lot, and I think I told you guys before, the cosmetics of my war steed absolutely matches the cosmetics of my captain's armor, and I love the way this looks, so I've not changed this in maybe 3 years now. I've not changed the way that looked. It's one of my favorite. I've never changed that. Ever. So until LOTRO shuts down, this is going to be the look on my captain with that war steed cosmetic and that armor. Ah, God. Oh, hang on. Let's not fly off the cliff, shall we? I'm going down. Is there a way down even? Okay, I see the road there. I see the pass. So I need to go down there. I could always just jump down and die and, you know, spend a free revive token that takes like an hour to replenish. So I came all the way up here just to confirm that there is a path. Oh boy. I'm regretting getting on my war steed now. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's just jump down. I think my war steed can handle the brunt of the fall damage. And that's a big think. I can't even go down. Why not? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh no, it's not letting me go down. Because there's an invincible wall. Alright. Long way down it is then. Nope. So I just came back down the way I came from. But yeah, there's definitely a path. That much is confirmed. No, I'm just going around circles now. Kind of reminds me of when I got to the previous zone for the first time, you know? Getting into Thranduil's court area. Ooh, it's just so confusing. Like, it's daylight, then all of a sudden you go through the forest and then everything turns dark. And I remember crossing, you know, the river to do one of those epic quests, one of the book, and it just completely made my character kind of like fall asleep. So that was pretty interesting because that was lore appropriate. Oh no, I'm back in Raven Hill. Oh shit. Alright. Not good. Me and directions on a new map. It's like teaching a baby how to speak a foreign language here. Nope, not up there. Come on, I saw the path. It's definitely not here too. Gotta be down there. Gotta be. That's the path. Thank you. Let's go. Man, what is it? 2 hours now, and I haven't even left for the next part of the quest. Gosh. Oh, you can't blame me though. I've had a bunch of freeze loading screen issues and stuff, and now we're finally making our way to the north. Now we just get to sit back and enjoy the scenery, y'all. The background. Oh, hang on. Hang on. What do we got here? Here's Ruzat. And, let's see what he has to say. Oh. What's this? Some quests. Grey Mountain Wavehood. Humble Ruzat at your service. True, you will not find all Zureka, so open to Kisnek, pardon me, the outsiders, as I. Okay. So, I'm just summarizing here. It's a long road ahead. Gather pine nuts times 12. Gather wild berries times 12. Oh my god. I mean, you can choose to ignore this if you want to, but this is for 117, and I am 117. And if you look at the bottom there, I'm so close to hitting 118, and I do want to see, you know, I do want to see myself ding, obviously. So, yep, okay. I will go grab your stuff. Pelts to warm the way.
Stay a moment. Hear my words.
So up north it's going to be cold, duh. So what do you need to keep warm? You need pelts. So wolf pelts and bear pelts. 16 of them, yay. And finally, the well-marked path.
And the folk of Durin.
I know not how many centuries have passed since the dwarf feet trod upon these paths, yet many Zhil Ruka do so now. So mark the path for travelers. That was unexpected. This is definitely an unexpected journey. I expected to be on my way now. But here I am, stopped in the middle by a Zhil Ruka to kill stuff. Alright, let's get some action going. My sword has been dry, and my Cappy sword is always, you know, kind of dripping with wet blood. So I think it's now time to get some blood on. Do we need boar at all? Deer, sorry. Alright, you can hover your cursor over the animal there, and if it's part of a quest, it will tell you. Kind of like this. Over there you can see the objective just popped out, so... Because there's a bunch of kill quests, sometimes it's hard to, you know, keep track of what you need to kill. Oh, this is gonna be a while, folks. I did see another hunter or another player ahead of me earlier, so I think they've pretty much cleared the area of bears and wolves. So this is gonna be a while. God damn it, just when you thought you were out of the woods and, you know, going to your next adventure, you're kind of just stuck doing kill and fetch stuff now. LOTRO. Someday I will buy over Standing Stone Cage Studios and I will change everything, man. I will change the devs, really. It's time to freshen up quest design. It really is. Alright, so here's a wolf. Let's kill him. New deed, Ered Mithrin. Oh yeah, that's right. Because we're en route to a new zone, a new map, I should say. We're getting new deeds. Ered Mithrin, Beast Slayer, and I did complete a bunch of deeds in the old Iron Hills area too, and they did give you LOTRO points, like 5 and I think 10. The ones that apply to reputation still is around, so you know, get to from neutral, get to friendly, and then get to acquaintance, and then get to kindred, and blah blah blah. Those things still are around, and they do give you, I guess, the same amount, you know, 5, 10, 15 LOTRO points or whatever, so that's kind of nice. Oh, that reminds me. Okay, I've got about 28,000 bonus wraps still stocked up, and those are from my Moria days, by the way. Not Moria, sorry, my Mordor days, so I have a lot of skirmish marks to burn, because I haven't been playing in a while, so I'll spend all that stuff on bonus rep stuff, I think, from the skirmish camp. Oh, there we go. Hildilf Rangdruid. Okay. Yeah, I should not be reading names. I'm terrible. And by the same token, I've had people tell me, how do you pronounce your name? It's like Hufflepuff. Some people have called me Hufflepuff, which is totally fine. So that's my name for reference, Haffelheim. It's just Haffle. I usually just call me the first part. Just call me Half. And there's actually a place in Germany called Hoffenheim, so it's not that foreign, you know. A real place does exist. Okay, so that's 2 down. You know what's gonna make this part absolutely terrible is if there was an RNG added to the drop. So I needed to kill 8 wolves, right? So just imagine if they added the RNG part, where in fact you need to kill about 16 wolves to get those 8 pelts. That would just piss me off. That really would. But so far I've killed 2 wolves and 2 pelts dropped, so there's no RNG nonsense here so far. LOTRO used to have that way back in the day. You know, before Rise of Isengard, RNG drop for loot or for objective-driven loot used to be a big thing. But because back then, you know, I was so new to MMOs, I wasn't kind of thinking like a critic and thinking like, you know, somebody who kind of reviews MMOs these days. It just didn't bother me. I thought, yeah, I'm not going to question some of these designs. Like, why was it designed that way? I'll just roll with it. The older you get, the more games you play, the more, you know, you see. Yeah. Alright, checking the chat so far. Derp says, the grind is even realer than Maple. Oh, did I just level up? No, that wasn't a level up. That was the minstrel hitting a coda. And it looked like I leveled up. Damn it, minstrel. You fooled me. You fooled me. I thought I leveled up. How far am I? I need 500,000 XP. That's like... I think if I do these 3 quests, then I'm done. I'm a long way away, though. Oh, did I miss markers? Did I miss markers? Well marked path right here. Hang on. To get used to reading the... Oh no, markers are well ahead, so... This is just wolves, bears, and pelts. I've not seen a single bear yet. It's another wolf up there. If there's one thing I would say though, maybe for music, I kind of miss Chance Thomas, and you do hear that missing presence, you know. Chance Thomas came back to do the Mordor expansion, the music for Mordor, and I believe his soundtrack has already come out on Spotify and other places. Oh, it's kind of lagging there. Yeah, I'll let you do the pine cones. Does it disappear? No, it doesn't. So that's a good change. Because in the past, if 2 people clicked on the same quest objective, or whoever clicked first, yeah, that's kind of gone. I need bears, man. Maybe bears are later up. So there's 2 wolves over here. So I just tapped that one, just in case the minstrel's following me. Nope, minstrel's no longer following me. But yeah, you know, for the new content so far, I definitely feel the loss of Chance Thomas's music. I think I've said many times, I'm not a big fan of the in-house music. Sorry, guys. There's just something about a well-produced piece of score for a fantasy game, especially for Middle-earth, that you can immediately tell, yeah, this, you know, a lot of work went into this, versus, yeah, we need some music for this area that needs to go out in like 2 weeks. You know, it's a real big difference. And between the 2, you know, Chance Thomas albums, or 3, you know, the entire base game, versus the Riders of Rohan versus the Mordor expansion, I think Riders of Rohan for me will personally always be Chance's best work on LOTRO, because that music for 2012's expansion, Riders of Rohan, was just absolutely beautiful. Oh, there we go, Laugh Bear. Speaking of Rohan, here's a Laugh Bear. We first saw these in you know, Riders of Rohan. Good timing. Yeah, his music there really set the scene, and you know, I think we were also spoiled by the soundtrack in Rohan, that we kind of expected, you know, every music moving forward to kind of sound like that. But unfortunately, you know, that's kind of not what happened. But it was great to have him back from Mordor, and you did hear him create a lot better themes for Mordor. It's just not the same. I'm not lying, I guess. I'm being truthful when I say that I'm talking a lot now to keep myself entertained while I do this mundane stuff. Pick up berries, kill wolves. Oh lord. Is this my last wolf? Yep, that's my last wolf. And I still need 7 bears. How am I doing berries? I need 4 berries and I need 5 nuts. Okay, so that's wolves done. At least I know where the bear spawns now. But I mean, if you keep an eye on your mini-map here, you'll definitely see what spawns where. And of course, that delete key button trick helps a lot. Just to make sure you're not missing anything in the landscape. So I'm going to hit further west. There we go. That's a bear right there. Hello, bear. Wow, none of my attacks in that first 30 seconds made a difference. Like evade, evaded, evade. What level is this bear? Bear is 118. I'm 117, and I'm missing a crap ton. Yeah, but again, like I said, I've got no essences whatsoever in any of my gear. Like I am all out of essences. The stuff that I kind of crafted way back in the Mordor expansion doesn't even have essence slots because, you know, that's just the nature of it. Done with Mordor, move to the next MMO, review that, move to the next MMO, move to the next MMO. I'm constantly moving. I'm treating, you know, my YouTube channel as a review hub for MMOs by a new player to these games, in most cases for potential new players. And I want to keep my YouTube channel feeling like a journey, you know? So, in the past, I don't know, a few months, you would have seen me return to a lot of these games. I returned to Warcraft, I returned to ESO, I returned to Guild Wars 2, because sometimes it's nice to go back and see what's new. I come back to LOTRO all the time. But the general, you know, theme that I want to keep for my YouTube channel, especially for the reviews, is let's go somewhere that I've never been before. And that's the plan, I suppose. So Aeon at the end of the month is, you know, one of those games that I've never played, and that 6.0 update coming out, a lot of people have already told me that it's going to be exciting because they're kind of revamping the game. So that will be pretty interesting. Oh, bugger bear. Won't you lay down and just go? Thank you. I see a Wolverine there. At least I'm in bear territory now, and I'm getting very close to marking the roads. I think the markers are somewhere down here too. I will look for the markers later, but right now let's just go finish up some bears since we're in the area. What the hell? Well, my banner didn't go where I wanted to go. You know what? For those of you guys watching currently on Twitch or whatever, I'm surprised no one has so far mentioned what a freaking mess your UI is, because that's the #1 comment that I used to get maybe last year when I was streaming through Mordor, or even the year before that. No, early last year when I was even doing update 19. Like, one of the most comments that I got on YouTube, and yeah, sometimes here on Twitch, was like, dude, what is up with your UI? What is that? Why is that such a mess? I guess you guys are used to using add-ons yourselves, so no one said anything so far. That's good. Alright, check in chat real quick. We got Wigga in chat. Hello, Wigga. Good morning. Yeah, I'm streaming some LOTRO just to give people a heads up that a review for U23 where dragons where dragons dwell is coming in the next 7 days or so, just before ESO's update come out. So that's what I'm doing here. And Wig and I were kind of trading notes earlier on Twitter, you know, just talking, because she's back for U23 as well, just checking it out. And I was just going to tell her, you know, some of my struggles. The struggle was real, especially in the hall under the mountain for Erebor. You know, when you can't really see the minimap and you can't zoom in and out. And like when I was saying earlier in stream, you know, when you've got all those quest objectives to find, and the problem is the minimap is so screwed that, you know, you practically got lost. Yeah, so that's one thing that we both experienced. What am I doing back here? Oh, I came back for a couple of nuts. And a berry bush. Let's just go back and finish bears. I need to keep organized. The fact that I'm just talking. I kind of derailed myself here. I had a plan. The plan was to go up north to kill bears. Let's go kill some bears real quick. I think I've kind of cleared this path. This is the res circle, which I am proud to say I haven't been to a lot in this update so far. But in Mordor, man, I thought I was a big shot, you know, in Mordor launch, going into Udun with my crappy flower gear from update 19, and I got my ass handed to me. It's a cappy thing, you know, when you play a captain, you gotta play it with some flair and arrogance, you know, I think that's a sign of great cappies, you know, they walk into an instance and they feel kind of like arrogant a little bit, like, yeah, we can do it. You know, so it hurts your pride when you try to pull like more than 2 enemies in red in the first Mordor zone at launch and you get killed. It just hurts your pride so much, and that's when you realize, yeah, SSG has really upped the ante here. Difficulty's definitely gone up. You can no longer be a hero. That's when I really had to, you know, start thinking about running in yellow, that Mordor. Oop, what was that? What? In order to access the oh, okay, that's the previous quest back. Yeah, I don't have that quest back. So I'm back here again because I've run out of bears. I didn't see any bears. Okay, there we go. Here's one. Wigan Chat says, is that the second area? Yeah, that's the second area. For the last 2 hours, Wigan, I've been trying to get to that second area. You know, just getting rid of the intro quest, and I still haven't got there yet. I thought I was gonna be there by now. As soon as I hit the road and I got here, part of the quest is just to collect berries and kill a bunch of bears and wolves. So typical. Are we done with bears? No, 2 more bears. Come on. I'm just gonna follow the quest marker and see. It told me there was a bear in this area, and usually it's kind of accurate when the quest marker starts showing you where there could be a bear. Nothing here. I got burned by that one. Man. Yeah, okay, there we go. Some pine cones. Good. Can't click on them. Oh. Why do you do this to me? Why? 3 more. Map says I'm heading to an area where I should see a couple of berry bushes. There we go. Or pine cones. Or at least they respawn. How many minutes have I spent doing these 3 quests? That's what's really getting me the most. And I know I'm being really nitpicky here, but that's the real kind of like frustrating part, really. Having put all that work to, you know, get to the new zone, I can't even get there yet because of these freaking fetchy, clicky shit type quest. 1 more, just 1 more pine cone. Let's go. Wild berries, yeah, cool. Ah, a bear. Yes, it's coming. It's coming together. One more bear. Come on. Come on. Let's do a quick scan real quick. English fail. Let me do a quick scan real quick. Alright, let's fold the mini-map here. I'm heading... That's either a pine or a berry bush. What is it? It's a pine. Good. And I'm done with that. I'm actually done with berries. So that leaves me with one more bear pelt, and then we can go up and do the markers. At least the markers are on the main road, you know, you don't have to go off course a little bit. Now, let's look for a big bugger. Come on, bears. I know you're out there. Definitely in the right area. Minimap's kind of glowing. I'm just gonna make sure pelts warm the way. Yeah, alright, so I am in the right area. That's a minstrel killing a deer for some reason. Okay, you know what? Screw it. I'll do road markers. And if I find a bear along the way, well, great. If I don't, then I'll go out of my way to get one. Because this is annoying when you just need that last bear and it's not popping up. Can't believe it. Where are the flipping bears, man? Oh well. Road markers. See how long this takes. About 5 seconds for this. 5 seconds times 20. Gives me some time to like scan the surroundings and look for that last bear that I need. Bear, found one. Come here, you. Come here. I'm gonna take your hide. Let's get out of the way of that heart. Don't want to pull more than I have to. Finally. So that's out of the way. Last thing I need is 17 more of these markers cleaned. I got that one. I guess it's just following the road now. Yeah, just follow the road into the new map. It's got a really purple tinge about the area. Or it's because it is kind of like dusk in game. Late watches is the in-game time right now. But it does have that, like, if you click on the glimmer deep here, you'll see like all these purpley crystal kind of glowy thing. I mean, I play Guild Wars 2 a lot, and you know, one of the new content has stuff that's got to do with Kralkatorrik and the branded. He's a dragon, you know, with the crystals that's our purple in color. So that's what it reminds me of, you know, Kralkatorrik's branded in this cave. Which is obviously not the case, but I can't wait to get there and see for myself what that's all about. Almost there, almost there. And I'm pretty sure once I turn this in, I'm going to be 118. That's 2 levels left to 120. And hey, who knows, maybe I'll drop like $100, buy some buy some loot box keys and open up some chests. I actually saw legendary Matham Hunters stuff already for 120. Gosh. I have this add-on that allows me to check what's in my inventory. Okay, but well, I can hover over it, but I can't actually go click the individual stuff. But one of it's like a legendary Matham Hunter's armor, so it's the golden one, and I believe it now will scale up as well to 120 if you open it at 120. And I think that's a good idea because I have collected a bunch of Matham, you know, Hunter's armor or whatever over the past couple of years. So the blue ones, though, like I have a couple of blue ones here, right? Yeah, these are incomparable math. I've been throwing a lot of these away because you can't sell them. They hog space in your bag and in your vault. So I have been guilty of getting rid of a bunch, and this was back in the Mordor area because, you know, Matham Hunter's armor doesn't give you, what's that stat? Light of Earendil? Yes, Light of Earendil. It doesn't give you that, right? So it's kind of pointless. This is some really nice looking obelisks, dwarven architectural obelisks or whatever. That's an interesting looking, what is that, an outpost up ahead? I don't know. But let's go check it out. Almost done, I think. 7 more to go. Man, I'm feeling the burn. I don't know how you guys are feeling watching this stuff. Clicky, clicky, killy, killy. For like almost half an hour before we even get to the new zone. Ah, so the guys are taking a break. Nice. And I'm here doing all the freaking work. All right, what do we got? You discover Durin company resting on the road into Ered Mithrin. This is a nice place to rest. I mean, I like the colors of this. I like the architecture and design. What I got? Deed bestowed. Ruins of Ered Mithrin. Discover a bunch of ruins and get 12 justice. It's not a virtue that I use. But hey, 5 LOTRO points, and the new currency for this zone is Marks of the Longbeards. You can always go to the Quartermaster and see what kind of new stuff they offer. I'm not sure if I've done that yet. Probably already done so. Let's go check inventory real quick. Ah, it is done then. Very good. I have known the Raven Chiefs to be wise counselors, but whether their counsel is good or ill, they speak with sharp tongues. Has the Raven Chief offered you any counsel on our task? You informed Nori that the Raven Chief warned that thikil-gundu was in a cursed place and that she would not send her ravens there. Accursed? I do not think so. Thikil-gundu has been the doom of many Longbeards, but there is no curse upon it. A curse of a dragon kind, perhaps, but nothing more. That is enough talk of thikil-gundu for now, I think. Let us hope the ravens find some side of my brother's passage to Ered Mithrin. Turning this in. Ooh, that was a chunk of XP. That was worth 385,000. Okay, next part of the quest here. In the way of dwarves. There's another matter to discuss. While we waited on your return, a small company of Zhil Ruka, those, you know, eastern foreign dwarves, passed through the south gate. They spoke in hushed tones, but I heard enough. It seems that they make for a small encampment named Dom Goru. Now, I've definitely heard of Dom Goru. In the foothills of the Ered Mithrin. The Zhil Ruka are not the most cooperative of dwarves, but I have known them to be keen observers. Either this company or their kinsfolk might know of Nori's passage into Ered Mithrin, or perhaps where Vethug Wintermid, and that's the cold drake, has fallen. Ask what you must, but do not speak of thikil-gundu. The rightful claim of the Steel Cape is a matter of contention between our peoples, and it would be unwise to provoke them needlessly. Alright, I'll go talk to this guy. Said, where? Up there. Dom Guru, right? At least there's a stable master there now, which is great. So I can, you know, quick travel back and forth, because I do need to clear my bags if there isn't a vendor up there. 15. There better be 5 more on this road, man. I've come this far. I like the lighting for the that archway there. It's like natural lighting because there's no lamps or whatever. So what is that? Moonlight that's kind of shining on it. Then you can see that constellation up there, which is, you know, pretty cool. But yeah, the natural lighting surrounding that structure is really nice. I like it. $17, 3 more, just 3 more. The good news is the dwarf that gave me all those quests, that Zhil Ruka dwarf, he's not waiting for me back there where I started. He's at Dom Goru, so it's all ahead now. At least they kind of reduced the level of back and forthishness, I suppose, which is always a good thing. Alright, final one. And done. I'm so tempted to use a freaking mithril coin. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna ride all the way there. It's a close ride. Let's go. Up on this hill. Oh, Durin! Hello, Durin. What are you hiding around here? So I guess this is the first time you guys on stream are seeing Durin. For those of you that haven't got this far yet, this is where I said he got a really nice model. I suppose. I mean, he looks, because it's Durin, and because I suspect what Standing Stone Games are trying to do with this guy is give him a narrative arc to grow, a story arc to grow. And I think he's got a role to play in future content, especially his growth, because of the way he kind of started off. But, hey, you know what? The background music so far has been excellent here for this little zone. It's kind of tragic. Kind of like, the plight of the dwarf so far. But yeah, that's Durin. Very young for a dwarf. He's got a lot to learn and grow into. Let's talk to Durin real quick.
My father sent you to bring me back to the Lonely Mountain?
Oh, we got TG Silver in chat. He says, morning, Durin. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, well, good evening for me, at least. It's almost 12 o'clock here, and I've had 2 hours of playing through LOTRO's Update 23 so far. To give you guys a quick rundown, those of you just joined the stream, there are parts that I like, especially in the first zone, which is the Iron Hills. Like I said, it's 50-50 for me. I like the story so far, but there's some stuff that I'm not really too happy about. That's more to do with quest design, more than anything else. But so far, so good story-wise. Let's see what Durin has to say here. Did my father send you to bring me back to the Lonely Mountain, Haveline? Botus Frostblood, which is the leader of these Zhil Ruka dwarves, those eastern ones, and his band of Zhil Ruka. Zhil Ruka. What did I say? Eureka? Have gone on ahead. But now that I behold this place with my own eyes, I see some of what has driven them to come here against my father's command. So I think I can see the narrative here. Thorin 3 Stonehelm is going to be that old cranky father that is thinking one way, and then they're going to build Durin into one of those, I'm going to challenge my father, I'm going to see the reason of light, or the good in these foreign dwarves, and I'm going to become a leader that's probably going to join these Zhil Ruka dwarves and the Longbeards together in some sort of a coalition, or a partnership or whatever. And that is how Durin starts to get into during the Deathless kind of moment, where he just becomes the leader of his people that they haven't had in a long time. So I can see the story, or I should say I predict that's where they're going to go with this in the future. I don't know, that's just a guess. But so far from what I've seen, they're really trying to build that narrative, of Durin trying to prove to his father that he can be that leader in the future. So Tyrion looks around at the rocky highlands and the towering peaks of the Grey Mountains. Do you see it too? The vast mountains, the untouched valleys, the hidden recesses beneath them. Each holds the promise of adventure. My father's throne room is no place for me. I should not waste my years there in study and in idleness, as he did. No, I belong here in the unexplored wilderness. I should seek its lost treasure, just as my people have done for thousands of years. Only then I will find the glory that is to be mine. Uncle Nine would understand, even if my father does not. Nine? I am not going back until I have proven I am worthy of my name, Haveline. Durin the Deathless, everybody. Remember our deeds in the Ironfold? You are a good companion and reliable friend. I ask you to adventure with me here, and together we will achieve great things. I mean, in a way, I kind of like it now, because for me as a player, because we've been here in LOTRO for so long that we've kind of quested alongside a whole bunch of different dwarves. We've done it with Gimli, we've done a bit with Gloin, we've done a bit with a bunch of other dwarves, and now, Durin, especially for those of you that know the name Durin, this is a big deal, because we are now, I guess, when it comes to our relationships with the Dwarven game, especially if you play a Dwarven character, it's almost full circle now, because now, if this is the last thing that, you get to do in game for a LOTRO before it shuts down or whatever, just saying, hypothetically, then questing alongside Durin and watching him grow should be the last thing that you do as a dwarf character, because in the end, you know, that sort of, we all know Durin the Deathless will come back and he will lead the dwarves to glory and whatever. So this is it. You should be pretty pumped and pretty hyped if you play a dwarf character, but if not, then whatever, right? All right, check in chat real quick. Tag Silver says, yes, evening. Evening indeed, and morning, obviously. He says, is this game worth getting into for the first time? Ooh, you've not played LOTRO yet? Same advice I give to everybody with LOTRO. I mean, if you are a fan of Lord of the Rings, I would say give it a shot, you know, because it's a free to play game first and foremost, and you know, it does a lot of things right in terms of sticking with the book lore and keeping things interesting for players that maybe don't necessarily know too much of the lore, because that's how I started, you know. And I would say give it a shot. Pretty fun. Get a good kinship, which is a guild basically. Find some friends to play with on your time zone, and it can be pretty fun. Yeah, I'd definitely say give it a shot. There's definitely some stuff in here that will annoy you. I mean, if you are looking for a more modern experience when it comes to combat and graphics, you know, optimization. Hell, I crashed how many times in stream tonight? Some of you that are just joining me tonight, you might have missed that, but earlier on I was having a lot of issues. And all these things, I suppose, comes with age. You know, LOTRO's what, 11 years old now? So, but, you know, every MMO has its pros and cons, and LOTRO's pros are if you like the story, and if you just want to be in an authentic Middle-earth place, and this is a great game. So, check it out, man. Alright, so let's finish this quest, and let's now hit level 118. Boom!
There will be adventures enough for both of us, I am certain of that.
Level up! Alright, so that's 118 now. I'm gonna pick up this quest real quick. Chapter 8.3, an inhospitable land. There will be an adventures enough for both of us. I am certain of that. I will not look back fondly upon the time I spent in Yarnfast. Kept from honor and glory, but something at least came from the captivity of my youth. Many were the tales I heard, and many were the maps I studied, and now that we are here among the Grey Mountains, I will see these subjects with my own eyes, and thereby make them real. There should be a narrow passage to the northwest of here, the Worm Gap, bored through the very stone by the dragonkind that came down from the north. Let us see if any of their kin still inhabit that gap. Oh, are we actually going to look for dragons? This Durin isn't really waiting for anything. He just wants to go out there and, you know, get the fun started. Okay, so I guess we're going to kill enemies in the Worm Gap and travel to the Anvil. Anvil off on the Withered Heath. Alright. As for rewards, I mean, look at that gap. Just take a second and look at that. That's the difference between, you know, I would say middle or early tier Mordor gear versus what we're kind of having right now. That is a ton of armor. I mean, the might increase is not that substantial, but it's the armor that really is incredible. That's 23,000 armor for a minimum level 115 gear versus the old Mordor one, which only gave you like 13,000 armor. So, look at that block, man. I mean, that's the only choices I got. I'm practically using quest gear rewards at this point, because there is a new crafting gear, by the way, for metalsmiths and everything else. It's called the Ironfold. I haven't really got any recipes, so I haven't, you know, looked into crafting yet. And by the way, there's a bonus experience crafting weekend going on right now, so it's 25% bonus XP. So if you want to craft for the new tier Ironfold, get on this weekend and start crafting, I suppose. Alright, and I see a quest available. The state of the, what? It says expedition. There's always more to do. They say the work of dwarves is never done, and that it is as true today as it was in days past. Explore the lands of the dwarves and see their travails to their conclusion. I do not doubt further adventures away in the Ironfold. So the objective here is to complete each of the major storylines for the dwarf holes. So like a meta quest just popped up. And through this meta quest we do see, and I guess this is like a pointer of what you should do. So follow Nori's trail, assist with the affairs in Thornholt, Steel Keep, Glimmer Deep Mines, and Stormwall. So there's like 4 quest hubs that I know I'm gonna do now. And judging by how long it took me to finish the Ironhold, that's, I'd say, a solid 6 or 7 more hours. So yeah, lots to do. I'm gonna go unlock the stable real quick and check it on chat. Up here, Dom Guru. Ah. Hello, hello. Bounty boards. You discover a small encampment of Zhil Ruka. Alright, so here we go. Bounty. Oh, what was that? We guys just subscribe. Oh, thank you, Wiga. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. I completely lost what I was going to say. Bounties. That's interesting. I was going to say, because bounties are a thing in Guild Wars 2, right? Where, oh, what was that? Tag Silver's just subscribed. Thank you, Tag Silver. Thank you very much, both of you. We got Tag Silver. Thank you for making my weekend. You guys are way too kind. Hope the stream's enjoyable so far. So this one is defeat Holcomb, and defeat Mithrin worms. So I guess these are these solo quests, or are they? I think they're solo. Well, that's nice. I can't even remember if LOTRO had bounty quests like these in the past. But these are just like kind of hunt rare creatures and kill a bunch of stuff for XP. So that's nice. Back in the Ironfold zone, by the way, for those of you that want some extra XP or whatever, Otterby Miner's Ball is here. When you free Durin, or when you bring Durin back to the Lonely Mountain, and when you do that Easterling quest that, remember what I said, there's this one Easterling guy that doesn't quite believe that an all-out war with the dwarves is a good idea, so he kind of comes to you for aid and everything. Once you've done his quest chain, the Otterby area Nain will be there to offer you a daily quest. So that is one area where you can do some repeatable XP. So I wonder if these bounties are repeatable too, because I have the benefit of having like a bunch of rested XP here, but if you're struggling for XP, then these are pretty interesting to do. It's good to know that they're solo though. I'm also hearing, by the way, that the 2 instances, the 2-man, sorry, the 2-man, there are no 2-mans, the 2 3-mans and the 6-man is actually soloable. I'm not sure how true that is, but if anybody in chat has already done those instances, hey, feel free to let us know whether that's the case or not. Oh, new skirmish available. Hello. That's what it said. New skirmish available. So there's the seasonal stuff that I've never done yet. Alright, so where's this new skirmish? I am pretty familiar with all the names here, so I can tell which one's new, which one's not. These are all the Moria ones. Prancing Pony, Bruinen, Protectors of Tanglehat. No, these are all the old ones. Offensive, Ring, yeah, that's Mirkwood. Tekaton, Breaching the Necromancer's Gate, it's Mirkwood. Rescue, Nurse Garshu, no. Pythagoras, that's old. Dangle or Battle Tower, Icy Crevasse. No, there's no new skirmish. But you guys saw that, right? That I got the pop-up saying there's a new. Oh, never mind. Here we go. Grey Mountains. It is under. It's just under Grey Mountains. Caverns of Thrumfall. And this is 118. I can't launch it now because I must have completed the Discovery Stormwall deed. So I need to go discover that place first before I can get into the caverns. And this is the 3-man. And it scales too. So you can jump in there as 1-player, 2-player, or 3 players. And I kind of like that. It's a nice way for you to experience the content. Glimmer Deep is the next one. This is also the 3-man. And then finally, thikil-gundu is the 6-man. Now you can either do it solo or 6-man. This is one change that I really like. Like for me, if I get on during the day in my time or evening my time, Landreval is a North American server, so I would say, I don't know, I can't say, but if the Australian population on Landia has gone down, then I'm out of luck, so I gotta do it solo, right? So it'll be nice to just complete the instance solo, and I hope the gear kind of scales too, so that's nice. So those are the 3 new Grey Mountains instances. So here's another plus point. I actually thought that the instance cluster would be coming after the update. So in a way, you paid, you know, 1195 LOTRO points or whatever, and then you wait a couple of months to get these instances. But to know that they have already come out with the quest pack and you can do them soon, that's pretty neat. So I guess it's only the raid that players are kind of waiting on, which is, I don't know when that's coming out, and it's not something I'm going to do anyway. I'll check it in chat real quick. Tech Silver with the smiley face. Yeah, thank you guys both. Really appreciate it. I just hope that, you know, I can live up to that and stream on a more consistent basis, because with me being a freelancer and everything, you guys know my schedule is all over the place. So I do try and make an effort to stream more on Twitch or YouTube. So thank you. Wiga says, how did you get Russian XP? I had a bunch of you know, the supply XP stuff. I had about 20 or something from Mordor, and I kept them in the bank, so I've used that. It just gives you like a bar of supply from, I think it was either daily Hobbit presents or whatever I've been keeping stock of. Because I realized something. I have a bunch of Destiny points here in my perks, but I can't use them because I'm not a VIP. So I have to go VIP in order to use my accelerated experience. So that was one of those, you know, scrolls that I had capped up. So that's what I used instead. So this is wasted. Alrighty, let's unlock the stable here. Nice little camp. Other players are around. Let's turn this in with Ruzat. Wiga says, I thought you went VIP again. I can't. I can't. Even though deep down, you know, when I came back, there's parts of this quest pack so far that got me feeling like, oh, it's good old LOTRO. And then I just realized, no, it's not. You know, those times are gone. It's over. Let it go. I personally feel, and if you are a current LOTRO player, you may hate me for saying this, but my personal opinion is like the glory days of LOTRO being at its heydays, it's long gone. It's over. You know, now the LOTRO now is for a new generation of players, a different audience. Sure, a lot of the old guard still play, but it's just a different period. You know, that's just how I feel. And also, it's a financial thing. I have subscribed to other games now, and I just can't afford another LOTRO sub. So hey, did you go back to VIP, Wiga, or did you just buy the quest pack premium? Derb says, gotta get going. See ya. Good luck with the crashing. Thank you, Derbs. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate it. See ya, man. Good talking to you. All right, let's try this in.
All is well.
This mixture will do. We have grown hungry from much walking, so my brethren will be grateful for your efforts. Yeah, what about me? I did all that picking. So that was 20,000 reputation that I just got. I wish they'd tell me reputation for what, though. It's still Dwarves of Erebor, I suppose. Let me just type in dwarves and see what a dwarves... Yeah, just dwarves of Erebor right now. Okay, next up.
All is well, and yet not all.
I don't know that word. Vuchut? Vugut. Vuchut. How Vuchut? These pellets are just a thing. You've done much. I will make sure these pellets get to only the coldest dwarves. Now, if you guys hug each other, cuddle up. You guys are short and stout, you know, dwarves. I would think like having a nice pint will just warm you up. And just hug each other. It should be fine. We poor Zhil Ruka have traveled far, farther than you can imagine, only to reach Erebor. Here the way is harder and harsher. I will linger here and tend to my brethren. Yeah. Reward. Oh, he just disappeared. Okay, fair enough. One of those moments where you realize it would have been fun to bring a dwarf through. Like, I remember when I rolled my dwarf and I was going through Moria for the first time, I could relate to a lot of things. And then when you kind of put your mind space into a dwarf, and in Moria, the expansion, you know, when you're doing a lot of the quests and the instances and whatever, you hear your dwarf go, you know, Burr Kazad, Kazad I made you. You just get into it. In a zone like this, you know, when it's all about dwarves, you kind of wish your dwarf was high enough level to play through the content, but here I am as a command captain, whatever. What brings a man like you so far into the Grey Mountains? You explained to Zadok Flint-Eye that you seek a company of longbeards that have passed through the Grey Mountains, and that you have also come in search of the remains of a cold drake, Vethuk Wintermint. The party we're looking for is Nori, obviously, and Zadokok Flint is my name. If you are in search of something, I will know where to find it. Indeed, the fates of those longbeards and the cool drake are known to me. But information of that sort is valuable. Very valuable. I will offer it to you for a price. Typical. So I'm going to have to kill drakes and worms to find out what happened to these guys. So more killing and stuff like that. Is that it here? Yeah, pretty much. So I got free reign now just to go all over and kill a bunch of stuff, I suppose. What else do I have? Defeat drakes, defeat enemies in Worm Gap, and that's Durin's quest, right? So I guess I'll just go explore a little bit. Should I pick up some bounties? Why not? Let's just pick up some bounties. We're here anyway. The bounty notice is written in a shaky hand, as if the auto feared he might be interrupted. The air is thin. Okay, defeat Crunchcaw. These are cursed birds, so I guess we're gonna killing birds for these ones. Can I pick up all at once, or it says unique? I'm kind of wondering. Okay, no, I can pick up a bunch. I'm just grabbing everything here. Yep, there we go. Now let's go explore. Coming up in 3 hours, y'all. 3 hours is my cutoff period because I'm gonna import this over to YouTube. You know, just to make it watchable. 3 hours is the longest I think a stream should go, I suppose. And the whole reason of bringing this over to YouTube is to let people know that a review for U23 is coming. It's coming. Alright, check in chat. Wigga says, nah, I didn't go VIP again, just bought the quest back. Yeah. that's I guess that's what we've become, eh? Wigga says, God, I'd rather play only elves than play a dwarf. Oh no! What's wrong with dwarves? Yeah, I get that they're noisy, but it's not too bad, right? Okay, these worms count, so I'm gonna do a bunch of killing here. Oh, my pet kind of pulled a bear too. Nice. Well done, pet. After all these years, my pet still stealth pull stuff. Ruka says that Iron Foldscarn does look like branded. Right? Right? This is, for those that are lost here, Guild Wars 2, Kralkatorrik branded the colors. It just looks like it. And, that's a cool little resemblance, I suppose. That's a good reminder, though. I should turn on my ore tracking and start getting ore if I want to grab the get my crafting tier up. So this is where, you know, I kind of step back and I guess ask people that, you know, kind of watch LOTRO streams or watch streams. Which part of a LOTRO stream is the most fun for you guys? I mean, I'm just curious because I barely get the time to stream, first and foremost, and I barely get the time to watch other people stream. So, you know, when you guys watch LOTRO streams, like, what are you guys watching? Are you guys watching PvMP? Are you guys watching raids, dungeon runs, you know, group content, or questing? Is questing part of that? Because from what I'm starting to notice is that because of the quest design that you guys obviously can see now, you know, kill 10 of that, kill 20 of that, is that even fun to watch? I'm just really curious because I don't know. I would feel that if I was somebody watching a stream, and if I had to watch somebody kill like maybe 20 worms or something, I would rather do something else. And I know this is weird saying that because I do appreciate, you know, people watching the stream, but I don't even know why I brought that up. I'm just really curious because, at least in my opinion, you know, when people stream on Twitch, if I say, or if I let you guys know in advance that this is going to be a review stream, then yeah, we're going to look at, we gotta break down the game. We're gonna break down systems. We're gonna, you know, see what's good, what's bad. And I guess for the last 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40 minutes, I've been doing that in a way, you know, kind of. But I do deep down ask myself, you know, which part of this do you guys actually find fun? Is it some of these quests subjective, or is it simply because of just how much crap I talk on stream that in itself is entertaining? I don't know. Feel free to let me know, honestly. That kind of... Oh, I see big dragon there. Well, not big dragon. It's a cold drake, and it is... Yeah, it's something that's quest related to. Let's go see if I can take that one on. My ghost pet is outdated by a level. Let me just refresh that real quick. Kind of annoying that you have to do that. I wish it, you know, automatically scale when a new level hits, but hey, not complaining. Okay, here we go. Cold Drake, 176,000. I could probably do this. I'm going to start off with Revealing Mark first as a safety net. He just hit me for 10k. I do have Oathies if I need it. $118. Oh boy. Right. Time of need. Let's get a quick heal in there. Well, he's gonna go down. Yeah, not too bad, I suppose. Not too bad. That guy was worth 12,000 XP. Nah, I mean, LOTRO's one of those games where, you know, if you really need XP, the last thing that people really look to do is farm monsters on the landscape. I mean, you could, if you really run out of things to do, but even if you do, there's still like task boards around some of these maps that you can kill a bunch of trash and, you know, turn in those items to get XP. Worst case scenario, you know, spend a couple of bucks on the store and buy like an instance cluster or something like Mirkwood and farm warg pens. This is a favorite tactic of everybody now. I mean, it's been this way for years, which is when a new expansion comes out or a new quest spec comes out or whatever, or whenever the level cap increases. Just run a bunch of warg pens, maybe a couple of levels higher than your current level. Pop an XP booster, and within, I don't know, 2 hours you should hit a bunch of levels. So, and that's just if you run out of, you know, landscape content. But it was never really the case in Mordor, I don't think. I think with the Mordor expansion, you definitely hit the level cap of 115, and there's more than enough stuff for you to do. I've seen in at least Landy's World chat so far that people are saying they are at the end of the quest pack and they still have like one level to go, so they're kind of stuck at 119. So I'm kind of worried there, because my rest, you know, bonus XP or whatever isn't going to be forever. It's going to end somewhat. So hey, but if all else fails, then hell, I'll just run a few workbench and do that old trick. It's kind of sad. I'm sure if I follow the main quest chain, I suppose I will unlock the new instances, and I'll definitely try and do that. Oh, I wish I could do it tonight, but it's getting late. Because you could solo those new 3-mans, right? And even the 6-man, you could solo them, or jump in with a group. So, oh, worm here. Let me take that off you. Oh no, come back. Ah, great. That's a young cold drake. Does that count? Yep, that does count. At first, I thought it was like a bat on the landscape because it does look like a bat. And until I read the nameplate, it's a cold drake. That counts for the quest. Okay, 5 more to go. Dragon bones, nice. Wish I could absorb that like Dovahkiin. That's a great hawk. Alright, that's something I don't need. But at least I found where the congregation of baby drakes are. There's a lot of branded ore in this area too. Alright, drakes, let's go. this is one of those times when I'm actually questioning myself, like, should I, you know, stick around LOTRO a bit longer and try to get geared and try and do a new raid or something? I completely, you know, gave up on the Mordor cluster. Didn't really do too much in Mordor. Had to move on. With this one, the raid's not out, but like I said, you do have those other instances. But because, I don't know, I mean, some of the new gear from what I've seen so far, like there's new essences, like here, you know, rank 11, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I did see them go higher based on what somebody linked in a chat earlier. So I don't know how the gear grind has been. I don't even know what the gear grind was the previous quest back, which was, you know, the Northern Kingdoms. So I'll wait and see what people say, see if it's easy to get into or not, and see if we can make any content out of that. But otherwise, I'll just wrap up the story here. Oh, Big Drake, wait. Is somebody attacking it? No. Oh, look. The Cold Drake is now attacking the Mountain Ram. So we've got some organic landscape food chain stuff going on there. Pretty nice. Okay, 2 more drakes and I'm done. Vega says, I'm gonna try this update to get back into T2 stuff. Nice. Yeah. The patch note said that T2C no longer exists because they're renaming it to T3, which is pretty interesting. Because, you know, for the longest time, way back in the day, you know, whenever people wanted to do the hardest content in LOTRO, you're like, oh, I knocked out this raid. And, you know, you're like, yeah, big deal. You know, we did T2C because that's like the big deal. So T2C is now gone. It's called T3, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, so I guess you'll be the point of info for me. You got to tell me how T2 stuff is, because I don't think I'll be geared enough for T2. But yeah, whenever you get back to streaming, Wiga, yeah, I'll definitely watch you do T2 stuff. Wiga says, what, you don't like the T3 name? To be fair, T2C or Tier 2 challenge mode does roll off the tongue better than like a T3. At least that's the way I feel. I don't know why they kind of got rid of that. T2C was kind of unique to LOTRO, right? So far, this area, I can tell it's gonna get. I'm gonna take a while to get used to because it's lots of hilly terrain and stuff. It kind of reminds me of, I don't know, the Brownlands in a way. But I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of the underground, you know, places, especially that Glimmer Deep and Scarhold, which I guess I'll get to tomorrow. I'm definitely not gonna get to it tonight. Yeah, so the music in this zone, Ered Mithrin, definitely way better than music in the past one, the Iron Hills. Iron Hills had this really somber music that didn't kind of pump you up, even when you meet Durin for the first time, and when you liberate that Otterdeep city or whatever. Is it called Otterdeep? I forgot already. Otterby, sorry. Yeah, I mean, the whole music in there wasn't really uplifting. Well, the music here so far has been pretty good. Alright, coming back down. Wiga says, well, nah, T3's fine. I mean, me being a source of info. Yeah, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. I'm not gonna be doing T2C. If not me, not you, then who are gonna go to? Well, is Menth playing the update right now? Is she gonna go into like instance and stuff? I saw like a bunch of like Horizon folk around, so at least, you know, the folks that you run with, you're still pretty active, which is fine. In fact, I think I saw Mare early on today. I think she was on because DKOD, our chat group, I saw like 2 people on, but I went through my friends list and nobody was on, so it was Mare. Because I did bump into her in the Erebor Keep, I think. I just couldn't be sure if it was her or not. I didn't get to see the kinship name. Alright, let's go turn this in. Where the hell is he? Oh, there he is. Zadok Flintai. Drakes and worms, I think you misheard me, man. I asked you to feed dragons, not the feeble offspring. Oh, great. Do you expect me to part with any worthwhile information about longbeards, no less? Hey, asshole. Baby drakes and dragons grow up, they grow up to be dragons anyway. I don't know what the hell you're complaining about, damn dwarf. You would have saved both of us time if you had just handed me a bag of gold. In fact, why don't you do that? 10 gold coins and I'll tell you what I know. It's a fair price for such knowledge. Really? Yeah, I can see why the Longbeards hate these Eastern dwarves. They definitely are a pain in the ass. So, obtain a bag of gold coins. That is the actual objective here. Let me just set that as objective, see where that happens. I guess I could steal, I suppose, from one of these guys. Unless I have to buy it.
All is well, and yet not all.
Oh, purchase of the Vault Keeper. This guy's not kidding. I have to buy gold. And, you can buy those bags of gold from the Vault Keeper to send to Alt or whatever. This feature was introduced in LOTRO a long time ago, but I didn't find a use for it until now. So I'll do that another time. I'm going to dust down and get out of here, guys. It's 12 o'clock. I've been streaming for about 3 hours now. Let me just finish up chat real quick. Wiga says, LOL, Menthe still plays and is VIP, but without old Ram around, she's not too much into instances. Yeah, I bet. I mean, same goes for me, I guess, without friends. Wiga says she said she won't raid again unless Shrewd comes back and asks her. He's definitely around. Day's around. I don't know about Shrewd though, but at this point, for a Ram comeback, I don't know. What do you think? Unless we just pug it, I suppose. That music in the background has some Hobbit Dwarven theme to it. Like I could definitely hear tones or influences of that, which is not bad, I suppose, if you're a fan of Dwarven stuff. Alright guys, anyway, that's gonna be it for me. My voice is already gone. I'm gonna head to bed. So thank you very much for joining me in my LOTRO adventures tonight here on Twitch. I'll import this over to YouTube so you can watch it over there for a rerun or anything. The whole purpose of streaming and jumping to LOTRO is there's going to be a review coming out for Update 23 Where Dragons Dwell on my YouTube channel, hopefully the next 7 days, before I move on to the Elder Scrolls Online to review the Murkmire DLC, and then before jumping into Aeon to review 6.0. So lots of stuff going on. The next 7 days will just be me completing as much as I can. I'll take footage of the instances as well. I'll try to do much as I can. Try to get Wiga's opinion as well. I'll try to get her to talk about Update 23 as well, compare notes and stuff like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys at the review. So thanks again, everybody. Wiga and Tag Silver, both of you, for the sub. That was super kind, super generous. Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much. Everybody else, Derps and Leonard, and a bunch of you guys that jump on tonight. Boopy, thank you guys for the company. I appreciate it. Hope it was entertaining. And I will see you guys soon. Wiga says good night. Thank you, Wiga. Good morning to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Alright, guys. I'm out of here. Jeremy Adrian, as always, thanking you. Good night.